Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday. I hope you're all doing well. The Mayor Osama with 20 bits says, "Hey Hannah, sorry I missed the anniversary stream. Hope it went well." It went pretty good. Thank you. Hi Robert Morley, how you doing? Mike Mack says, "I told y'all the Chud will go after the Eternal. The Quartering has a video." Of course he does. We'll cover that on the next Chud Watch, probably. Ooh, we're on a hype train. Remember, every level of the hype train gets me to put on more tinfoil garb to protect me. TOMG, thank you for gifting a sub. Bellum Guardian, thank you for subscribing with 6 months with a 3-month streak. Says no message other than I love Hannah in chat. Desklang1, thank you for subscribing with a 2-month streak. X-T, thanks for subscribing for 6 months at tier 3. Wow, really great. Thank you. Uninteresting Rose, thank you for subscribing with Prime. And Pyromancer with 100 bits says tinfoil to bake Hannah. I wish I was baked right now. Bellum Guardian with 575 bits. Offering to the tinfoil throne, thank you. Zandil, thanks for gifting a sub. Zamsada, thank you for the 20 bits. Much appreciated. Let's see what we got here. Horns. These things. This thing. DM Trey says, yeah, right out of work. Ripped my hair out because it was so bad. I'm sorry, I had such a bad time. Kirthan with 100 bits says, I too bring my offering to this definitely not a cult. Thank you. Gaelic, thanks for subscribing for 11 months. Sky Comet Fallen with 50 bits says, hi Hannah, I've been looking forward to your latest conspiracy crop. Well, thank you. Today we reap. 74 Quinn 74, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Appreciate it. Level 3 complete. Robert Morley says, your oiled baron Big Daddy is in the house, yo. Get the foil going already with 5,000 bits. Thank you. Thank you very much. Zandil subscribes for 11 months. Thank you. We've completed level 5. Fantastic. Okay. Let's see what we're doing. We're at 185% of level 5. Horns. I'm probably gonna have to turn the air on at some point. But I do have air in here now, so. MH Darkbeast says, how you doing, Hannah? Well, I hope. Idly was curious about the period you worked at Toys R Us. When was that? Post 95? If so, do you hate Star Wars people? And worst horror story? Oh, goodness. It was probably around 2013 or 14, if I had to guess. We didn't have annoying Star Wars people, but this was around the time that the Toys to Life games like Skylanders were really popular, and they wanted us to push those a lot. There are people that every time the new wave would come in of like Skylanders figures or whatever, and they'd come in and they'd buy absolutely every new one. I once had a lady come in and buy, I think, like $3,000 worth of them. It was crazy. Which Toys R Us store? The Saginaw one? Yeah. It's closed now. So. Very annoying. Worst horror story? Holiday season. I had rung up hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of toys. It took like 20 minutes and there was a line. And then I did something on the cash register. I don't even remember what it is that screwed up the whole order and we had to restart. That was bad. That was my fault, though. Pyromancer says, screw Skylanders, Amiibo are where it's at. Which hunk of corporate plastic do you define your personality by? I gotta turn the air on. 1 sec. Yeah, it was. I worked at Toys R Us at one point. M the Ambassador 19 with 200 bits says, say what you will about Q, at least it provides content. This is true. This is very true. Gilgenk, thank you for subscribing for 3 months. Just Jalen with 100 bits says, only the freshest bits for you, Hannah. Lovely dress, by the way. Thank you. All right. I think I'm prepared for all the tinfoil goodness. How do I look? Doodleburb says, hi Hannah, today's my birthday. Gonna spend it watching one of my favorite streamers. Oh, are they gonna go live soon? Self-deprecating humor, kids. Learn it. 47 seconds left on the hype train at 200%. Beautiful. So let's take a look at what we're looking at today. CC's back with more Flat Earth content. We have an old Hans Wormhat video we might watch, we might not. It's not at the top of my list. Bellum Guardian, thank you for gifting a sub. M the Ambassador with 100 bits says if this train gets any more hyper, it's gonna need an adult to calm it down. Call for an Uprising as a new video about Pride Month. Nathan Thompson still on his Flat Earth World Tour. Elizabeth April is going to talk about vibrations and perception creating reality. Peter believes that Trump is going to be inaugurated on August 15th, so that'll be fun to debunk. The best part about Peter is that he puts the goalposts close enough that it doesn't take that long, you know, to prove him wrong. Fun stuff. Thank you for the level 5 hype train, everyone. Much appreciated. That's another Flat Earth video. We might do some Gaia stuff. Maybe some Daniel, whatever his name is. And then I wanted to look at some failed QAnon Anon content. So looking at sort of what they were saying right before January 20th and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So yeah, get your bingo cards ready if you want to play bingo. Remember, the first person to win bingo, 1 card per person. The first person to win bingo gets a gift sub to either use for themselves or to gift to someone else. Let me just remove everything from the bingo call sheet. Sort of STH, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Take my Amazon money. I will. I'll take all your Amazon money. Thank you. So what should we do first? Mike Max says, why not July 4th come Independence Day? Independence is the name. It's what MAGA people want. Reminds me of, it's got what plants crave. I have seen some people say July 4th, but it's not been a popular one. Peter will need a GoFundMe to pay for meds and therapy after 8/15. It's okay. His parents will probably pay for it. Like they pay for most of his life. Great Awakening first. Okay, we can do that. I'm a little low energy. I'm out of soda. I do have this one, but it's been sitting out here for a couple days. And I don't do flat, warm soda. So we're doing it live, okay? Okay, chat, so the first thing I wanted to do was take a look at GreatAwakening.win, which is a site where Anons who are into the whole Q thing get together and talk about the, quote, movement. So, of course, being associated with this stuff, they're wrong. Basically all the time. They set dates, those dates pass, nothing happens. They'll say a certain individual got arrested, like Hillary Clinton, and of course, she's not. So, let's take a look at some of their failed predictions. Notably, this was posted, I believe, on January 18th or 19th. This was right before January 20th. Now, January 20th, of course, was a big day because it was the day that Joe Biden was inaugurated as the 46th President of the United States. QAnon people didn't think that would happen because they thought Donald Trump is their God, Emperor, Lord, and Savior. So they came up with all sorts of theories as to what was going to happen. They thought once Biden was inaugurated, he had officially committed a crime. He didn't. He won the election. But they thought that, and thought that the military was going to arrest him. They thought Donald Trump was going to show up and get inaugurated for his second term. All sorts of crazy stuff. They thought all the evil deep state cabal people were going to be arrested en masse in D.C. None of that happened, because that's all fantasy. But let's see what they were saying in the days leading up, shall we? Tea with Goblins with 100 bits says, I love the Shades and Horns combo. Tinfoil Tuesday is my favorite. Well, thank you. So let's see. Please read regarding 120 and going forward. This site is going to become a very high traffic site for current information. Please keep the following in mind. All of the action we are waiting for is going to begin to unfold fast, but it's not going to happen all at one time immediately. POTUS has not let us down or failed. He has done all he could within his power, and it's now going to be handing it to the military to take from here, exactly as Q drops forecasted, and how the system works. I find most interesting in that sentence and how the system works. There's this constant delusion, and I saw this with Peter too, I see it with a lot of QAnon people, is that not only do they want a fascist coup takeover of the government in which Donald Trump becomes an emperor for life and presumably restarts some sort of dictatorship monarchy, they also want to convince themselves that this is very cool and very legal, even though it's not. So they'll talk about, like, military coups and people being killed extrajudicially and military tribunals, and then they'll also be like, and this is legal because Constitution or something. It makes it even scarier that they don't recognize that what they're wanting is a disgusting, like, takeover of the country. They want to convince themselves it's some legal thing, even though it's not. It's gross. Anyway, let's see what the comments are. Oh, they also say, any dooming or negative comments clogging up the site pertaining to current situation will result in removal or ban if repeated. Multiple comments to the same topic will be removed. Don't take it personal. We all believe in free speech here. However, we must keep this site clean, easy to find quality info, as informative as possible. Thank you for understanding. We're all here with the same goal. So if you go to thegreatawakening.win and basically say anything other than positive things about Q or the QAnon movement, they ban you. But they're very for free speech, as long as you want to suckle them for their bad opinions. Yeah, that however is doing a lot of the lifting in that sentence. So, let's take a look at some of these comments. These people anticipating that on the 20th, Donald Trump would rise as the god emperor he was born to be. Fuck Commies says, just think, today and tomorrow will be holidays for your children. No, they're not. Sorry. Beautiful. Each day of freedom afterwards is a true blessing and literally like living the 4th of July every day. Are there people who celebrate the 4th of July and get legit freedom boners? Like it's the 4th of July and fireworks are going off and they're not just like having a normal good time at a family celebration or whatever. They're like, I feel the freedom! Fucking freedom! I got a truck and all that stuff, communism. Like, really? Do people feel that emotional on 4th of July? That's bizarre to me. I never even considered that people feel that way on that holiday. This person bravely says, nothing happened today. That was right after the inauguration, I think. Hold on, can I get this a little so you can see it better? It's quite bad in terms of framing for this. 1 second. I have it framed for YouTube as opposed to this. Better. Bellum Guardian says, hot take, 4th of July is a lame holiday. Hey, I'll take any holiday, honestly. But I would tend to agree. It's certainly not one of my favorites. So someone says, nothing happened today, and someone else says, do you think the news provides a running commentary on everything that happens behind the scenes? he mentioned Lucky in his farewell speech. That was Trump giving his farewell speech. I think you've read this thread before. I think right when it happened I did, but I wanted to check back in on it and some other threads to see how they've aged. So yes, you may have heard this before. Praying like I never have before. Wapow says smoking doobies like I never have before. Tomorrow can't come soon enough. Looking forward to the show. So many of these comments are deleted at this point. It's always interesting, too, to see which of these people stuck around. Like, what about Crabman? Is Crabman still posting? Crabman's last post was 4 months ago. So hopefully, after the failure that was for them, January 20th, I really, really hope that someone like Crabman came to his senses and realized that the QAnon stuff is bullshit. Pyromancer says, everything going down is simultaneously behind the scenes, but they know what's going on. Yeah, they're special little snowflakes that know top secret information, don't you know? Not That Fragile says, I live in an extremely Republican town in Southern California, and they literally have a military parade and give a long mega-church-like speech about how the troops keep us free and we owe our lives to them. Gross. This is some good cope. Biden is still a sad old bitch no matter what. Scared of his own military. Should be interesting to see this either way. Biden is a pathetic piece of shit. Personally, I don't mind doomers being anyone who questions the veracity of Q. I don't mind doomers sharing their views. I'm an adult, and I can make my own decisions on how to think. Shills are obvious, but there are a lot of people who have been had before, and it's hard for them to give that power to someone so mysterious all over again. I mind. That crap is all over the place on the Donald. This isn't a forum that exists to cheer people up who never bought into Q to begin with. It is possible for them to read if they're sincere and want to learn. On 8kun, it's pretty thoroughly demanded that people shut up and read if they don't know what's going on. Here, it really is just a clog against conversation. There's going to be a lot going on. If we want to discuss it all, assuming the internet is functioning, wading through 10 miles of complaints from people who ignored Q for 3 years isn't going to do anything but completely derail the purpose of this board. Let's see if this person still posts. Yep, they posted an hour ago. Even after nothing happened and they were so adamant. Sad. Pyromancer says the next 3 years are going to be full of sad goalpost moving. Yep. Hold on. Vaporface says, if the commander-in-chief, who they're referring to as Donald Trump even though he wasn't, if the commander-in-chief asks the president to do anything that prevents Biden from being inaugurated, I hope mainstream media realizes that means Trump is still president. No, that would be a military coup. That's not how that works. So let's look at some of the other threads. This is just after the 20th. Stephen J. Neptune Man says, I'm not much of a flag waver, but I do enjoy fireworks and marathons on TV, so the 4th of July is just fine for me. That rhymed. Nice. At first, I was disappointed in today's events, and then I realized why the military wanted Biden sworn in, and Q told us why this had to happen. Like many of you, I am in shock by today. And then I realized why it had to happen, and that Q told us it would happen, and this is needed to happen. Q did tell us that a scare event would be needed. Well, are you scared yet? The problem with making a scare tactic is this is only scary to QAnon believers. Normal people recognize that Biden won the election. Yeah, this is QAnon as a source on the bingo card, if you don't have that yet. says Q posts 4821 and 4822 from October 7th, 2020 told us about Biden being sworn in and would the countries he took bribes from, then he in control of government. Important point I will be coming back to. 2. Biden had to take a private jet to D.C. and was not sent a government plane. This was the first time in history this has happened. Again, I will get back to it. I've gone over this before. The reason that happened is because Donald Trump is a big man baby and didn't send a plane for him, which is traditional. Hold on. Hydrate. Okay. Hydration. 3. Many of us assumed when Trump and those in his administration were referring to the next administration, it meant the military. Why? Why did you think that? We expected him to step down, to remain neutral, as Q said, while all this went down. Trump did say that the next administration would take over at noon today. I hate this. I hate when they say this. They'll be like, oh, Trump needs to remain neutral, so he'll step down and the military will take over and then they'll appoint him leader. Like, that's not neutral. This isn't how Nazi Germany formed, but let's, for a hypothetical, pretend that it happened similar to how the QAnons thought this was going to go down. Let's say Hitler stopped being, like, the chancellor of the Weimar Republic, as he had been, right, at the time. And let's say he ordered, or through some other place, got people in the military and his brown shirts to take over the country through a military coup, which isn't what happened, but again, this is a hypothetical. And then they appoint Hitler as the Führer. That wouldn't make Hitler neutral in this case. It would literally be a military coup being led by him. He doesn't have to pick up a gun for that to be the case. If he's ordering or telling other people or having other people do things in his name, it's still him doing that. But they're all like, he has to remain neutral while the military takes control of the government so he can become the dictator of America. Like many, I thought this was over when Biden was sworn in, and he now became the CIC, Commander-in-Chief. Boy, was I wrong because of the fraud, as pointed out. If the military has the proof of it, then they have a duty under military code to remove the false government and restore a new legal civilian government under military code 11.3, which triggered when Biden was sworn in today. Civilian government is an interesting way to describe the military taking control over the government and appointing a leader. Butt Cheeks McClown, thanks for subscribing. There was fear in the McCarthy era that the communists could take over the government. So provisions were put in place for the military to protect us should that happen. These provisions allow the military to take control while they remove the belligerent government and restore a legal civilian government. I find that sus. He didn't cite anything here. Kinda doubt that's true. With the military running the elections to do that. Literally, the military is put in place as the last line of defense of the Constitution should an illegal government be installed. This is why they didn't send a government plane for president-elect, because they know he's not a legitimate president, and once he was sworn in, the government became illegitimate, belligerent, and the military is now responsible for restoring legitimate civilian government, and otherwise foreign powers will gain control. Q said the end wouldn't be for everybody. We've been told by Trump, Flynn, and others that America would soon get a lesson in the Constitution. Well, folks, effective at noon today, when Biden illegally swore in with the assistance of foreign nations, he just made the government illegitimate and effectively put the military in control. So, while like many, I thought it was over when Biden was sworn in today, I realized Q told us it needed to happen for the military to assume control without it being a military coup. Q said it all had to be done by the book. It's basically fan fiction on how they can legitimize the military coup they want to happen to place Donald Trump in the position of dictator of America, and it's gross. Bardeg says, and this is some people actually questioning the logic here, although I agree with most of what you're saying, why didn't the military just detain Biden as soon as he was sworn in? What exactly are they waiting for? It's not like any of them could have run off anywhere. There were troops everywhere. Next person says, agree. I'm giving this plan until the end of the day. If nothing happens, I have a life to live. Let's see how they're doing. Are they still posting regularly? Fuck. They said they have a life to live, and they're still posting 18 hours ago, 22 hours ago, a day ago, 7 days ago, 8 days ago. I guess their life to live must not be that important. They're still on this crazy train. Anarcho Fish, thanks for subscribing with Prime. This person gets threatening, says if nothing happens at the end of the day or even the end of the month, then you have a duty to do everything in your power to secure your freedoms. If you haven't already, buy a gun, deck out your house with security cameras, and then move outward. Get everyone you know involved in local state government. They may have stolen an election. They didn't. But this is far from over. The phrase is, give me liberty or give me death, not give me liberty or I'll quietly live out my life in pseudo-slavery. Pyromancer says, freedoms. I don't even understand what they think the world would be like if Donald Trump became the emperor, where they think it would be more free than what's currently existing. Like, do they just want feminists and LGBT people to be killed, and then that's more freedom for them because they're not around people they don't like? Just curious. Maybe detain everyone off camera as people exited prevents them from all running around panicking and also gives military time to make the next move without media riling up the usual suspects to rioting. Okay, A, dog whistle. B, yeah, you think the media might be mad if the military tried to start arresting politicians because they don't like them? Jesus. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the next section. This person says, no matter what happens, Biden is illegitimate. Untrue. This is so ridiculous. To be honest, Kamala seemed pretty happy, but she was the only one. She probably feels buttered up from all the identity politics they talked her up on and is too whimsical to understand. The implication that she's too stupid to understand the reality of the situation in this hypothetical QAnon world, pretty offensive. Also, I watched the inauguration. I think we all watched it together. They were all pretty happy. Most people were pretty happy. They had their moment in January and it was a failure? Yep. Why should I accept communism? Yes, famous communist Joe Biden, who just removed any student loan forgiveness from recent plans. What a communist. Submit my children to internment? Get over your little feelings and prepare to fight like hell, politically speaking. Do not allow your heart to legitimize this fraud. Semi-Socio says, just enjoy some normal living, my guy. If the plan is still going, cool, awesome, wow, amazing. But if you all really need to just stop refreshing over and over and everything, hug your kids, fuck your wives, buy yourself something nice. When they come for the guns, blow heads open in a blaze of glory before one gets you and sends you to sweet, no longer a slave to flesh oblivion. Yikes. Racist disbelief of historical achievement? Not quite. That's like if they think the pyramids were built by aliens or something. Where's Q as a source? Q claimed as a source. Q! Anonymous 4chan, 8chan, any other chan? They mentioned 8kun, which started as 8chan, so. I think that's it. I also noticed there was supposed to be a 21-gun salute before the traitor was sworn in, and nothing happened. A big FU by the military? I don't know. They did do the 21-gun salute. They just did it, I think they did it in Arlington, as opposed to where they normally do it. Let's see some of the other threads. This person says, how many times must it be said? He must remain neutral. A good portion of people are still too brainwashed to accept this news from Trump directly. It has to come from the military. This has to look like he had nothing to do with it. I like that it's not even that it has to be that he has nothing to do with it. It has to look like he had nothing to do with it. So they're completely okay with Donald Trump lying to help foment a military coup to install him as dictator, and they're also okay with him lying and saying he had nothing to do with it. Gross. Did they mention the deep state? I didn't notice it, but if someone else thinks so, let me know. Trenches says he was pretty neutral, all right. He didn't say anything, LOL. Sounds like every pre-recorded speech he's put out since the election. No mention of concession, no mention of a Biden administration, just a new administration. He really has left it open to hand it all off to the military administration. He's just a butthurt baby who doesn't want to say the name of the guy that beat him. Q told us it had to be this way, and the military is the only way. A transition to a military administration could be scary for many. Yeah, that would be the end of America. Hopefully our military will handle this responsibility with care. What else? Theory on what's been unfolding. Sounds about right, and it's a link to potentially 8kun. I'll read it out. Zozo Horror Show, thanks for gifting us up. D-Class of FISA on Sunday, January 17th, 2021, December 5th in the Chinese lunar calendar. Why are they mentioning the Chinese lunar calendar? Who knows? FISA is the surveillance apparatus the deep state uses. Oh, there's the deep state on the bingo card. Deep state, deep state, deep state, deep state. FISA is the surveillance apparatus the deep state uses to vet entering into government. Get all the dirt they can on someone at the entry and then blackmail them if they want. This is why so many Washington are corrupt. They have to be to get in. Play the game and you're in. FISA equals start. Boom week ahead. Big boom. Boom, boom, boom. 17, 18, 19, 20. Sorry, they talk like toddlers. FISA will expose U1, human trafficking, Haiti, new release each day, culminating on the 20th by when Biden will be forced to concede. POTUS ran unopposed, thinks James Monroe's picture with Pompeo and Trump. They think Trump is going to release FISA. This is why they're trying to impeach him, but the fact is, he already has declassified it. They're too late to the game. January 6th was a trap. POTUS needed military in Washington for what is about to drop. MAGA rally gave Antifa enough Sorry. MAGA rally gave Antifa enough time to prepare to storm the Capitol. POTUS shows up late, holds rally longer than expected. Antifa starts without him. Patriots are spared the brunt of the attack. Dems and media play their hand away, claim POTUS-led attack. Call for troops to secure Washington against unhinged president. Game theory. Trump led them from behind. Got them to wall themselves in. Now they're trapped and there's no way around. Yeah, we can do word salad for this too. Basically, they're trying to say, Trump really wanted them to lock down the Capitol and send people to stop the insurrection attempt because that really trapped all the deep state? Okay. FISA will bring down the House of Cards. Media will attempt to block it. This is the communications blackout. Not done by Trump, done by Deep State in a last-ditch effort to prevent the reveal. POTUS will not be speaking to the nation on these issues to remain neutral for optics reasons. Military will be taking temporary control until things are sorted out. The neutrality thing is interesting, because obviously it's ridiculous on the face of it, but it's also a good justification to them as to why Donald Trump doesn't just come out and talk about these things. Because, of course, if any of this was true, Donald Trump wouldn't be able to not talk about it for 1 second because he's an idiot. So they gotta be like, oh, he has to remain neutral, air quotes. That's why he never talks about it. Biden knows something is up. Virtual inauguration. Look what happened to his broken foot. Kamala? Which they didn't even spell right. Kamala, sorry. Has she given up her Senate seat yet? 20,000 troops. For what reason? They were talking about the Senate seat thing. She didn't give up her Senate seat because there was some vote. I think it was on maybe the first stimulus. And she wanted to remain a senator so she could still vote on it. Sorry, I already did a stream with Jake today, so my throat's a little dry. And I was working on my voice earlier, too, and now my throat hurts. Primary fallout will be in D.C. on both sides. Look at Republicans who turncoat on challenging the election. Look at Republicans who voted for impeachment. Last-ditch effort to save themselves. FISA was the start of their career in Washington and will be the end of it. Let the cards fall. 10 days of darkness starting on January 7th. Boom Day is the 17th, with a new Boom Day each day afterward. Suicide weekend? Question mark? Daddy Sume with a hydrate. Thank you. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Something in the room. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Remember that song? Remember the Trump tweeting the pic of Biden in the boot and saying, feel better? LOL, felt like a troll. What was weird about the boot was the media delayed in reporting. It was like 24 hours, right? Also, guys, question, why do people talk about McCain's boot? Story here. That was after McCain had some issue with his foot, too. Stupid. Oh, the boot thing, they think he has an ankle monitor. He didn't, of course. He hurt his foot playing with his dog. One sec. Let me close this door a little bit more so the air can stay in better. Trump make boom boom. QAnoners. Sounds about right. Trump represents an opponent unlike any other they faced. He calls them out. He claps back. He won't sit down and shut up when they tell him to. As Election Day approached, 74-year-old Donald Trump started doing 2 full rallies a day at times across the nation. He would have won anyway, but this was no doubt a factor in the ridiculous landslide he won. So now their machine that has worked flawlessly for decades, maybe, has to be revved up to 11 on weaknesses were revealed. Their only option was to get sloppy, and they indeed got sloppy. Then January 6th, the Democrats controlled so many squares on the chessboard, and Trump strikes with the queen from far away. Keep in mind that not only did Donald Trump push his speech along to force Antifa to attack the Capitol, but he had previously retweeted, I believe it was Code Monkey Z. Code Monkey Z is either Ron or Jim Watkins. I can't remember their names. I always confuse them. He's thought to be QAnon. The QAnon people don't think that, but Code Monkey Z is probably QAnon along with his dad. Lord Necro Jay-Z says, you just had to sing a song from the most embarrassing times in high school. Oh yeah, definitely. Marcus Drake says, I mean, F Biden and all, but an old man playing with his dog is such a weird thing to be suspicious about. I know. Strawbully for Wi-Fi says, did you hear the fireworks in Jake's neighborhood too? Yeah. They've been doing fireworks kind of randomly. They do them a lot during the summer in my neighborhood. It's kind of annoying, but it's fine. I tend to stay up a little late anyway, so it doesn't bother me. Trump is a purpose-built vengeance machine, 1 in a million. Like Neo, Agent Smith has a puzzled look on his face as he gets chopped up. He doesn't understand. You know who I don't want as the leader of the free world? A purpose-built vengeance machine. That sounds terrible. Okay, done with this thread. This is the same thread. This person says, is it freaking happening? This was like right before the inauguration. Like this was like the day. This might have even been hours before the inauguration. So this is them working themselves up. Is it freaking happening? Updo if it's happening. Curious how many are feeling the same. You filthy updo whore, but here, take your updo. It's effing happening, feeling super confident. If anything, this is one hell of a roller coaster here. I'm seriously thinking it's happening. They're trying as hard as they can to get him out of office as fast as they can. Reminds me of Panic in D.C. I've never seen Republicans and Democrats panic this much in unison, not to mention checklists, EAM loyalists, POTUS, Twitter removal, Central Communications blackout, class movement Pelosi or Pence, movement of MI military assets, National Military Comm Center or something, Secretary of Defense, Castle Rock, Q. Just word salad nonsense. Do we have false flag on the bingo card? Do we? Let me look. I don't think we do, but I could be wrong. If we do, that would definitely count. Pyromancer says the only purpose of Trump is built for is to consume food and spew garbage. Do we have false flag on here? Yeah, something is a false flag operation. Yep. And doesn't understand Matrix as a metaphor for being trans. Any bingos yet? Puka the Duka, thanks for subscribing for 6 months. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun to look at some of the Q freakouts prior to the inauguration. They're still on here. By the way, you can tell the number of people who visit this site have gone down because if you look at the top posts of all time, they're all from 4 months ago or earlier. Like, the more recent posts get a fraction of the comments and upvotes. So that's good. Thez7274473 says, can I redeem my bingo sub? Let me check my database and remove you from it. My database makes it sound cooler than a Word document. Yep, you good, Thez. Let me remove you and get you your sub. Gift sub. Gift. There's a nifty gifty for you. Hydrate from Daddy Sume. Can do. Does that mean QAnon is dying or evolving into something else? I would probably bet on the latter, not the former, unfortunately, but I guess we'll just have to see. Yeah, anti-vax stuff is more popular now, so. But yeah, they're still going. Like, they have a whole thread every day. They have a daily wins of the day thread. Let's see what the wins of the day are for QAnon, shall we? Let's see what they're happy about. Rumblings that in Georgia will Rumblings that judge in Georgia will decertify the election if fraud is found in his courtroom. That's not how anything works. Lord Necro JZ says, has Hannah given away subs? I'll take a sub under 5'9". Arizona audit's back on with more tables for presumably more counting and inspection. That's like the bullshit one getting done by cyber ninjas. Sidney Powell releases footage of counting happening on election night in Georgia after the water leak and ties that counting to 98% of votes for Biden during that period. 2 Facebook whistleblowers uncovered by Project Veritas. Oh, goddamn Veritas. An anti-vax thing. DeSantis signs law making it illegal for big tech to censor posts. Trump turns up the heat on New Hampshire voter fraud and rhinos in D.C. Basically, Trump just posted a thing on his website. Biden breaks another campaign promise to young voters as he ditches student loan forgiveness. That is fucked up. But I find that funny that they even give a shit. Trump wasn't going to do any of that. Majority of New Yorkers don't want Cuomo on the ballot. Biden mumbles incoherently as notes from a FEMA event. Leaked State Department memo shows institutional support for BLM agenda. So basically, it's all just, you know, Q right-wing bullshit. Grand jury convened an investigation of the Trump Organization. Is that true? Let me go to Reddit. Is it posted on Reddit yet? Usually the anti-Trump stuff gets upvoted a lot on Reddit. There we go. Grand jury has reportedly been convened in the Manhattan District Attorney's criminal investigation into Trump. The Manhattan DA has convened a grand jury into a Trump investigation. The development marks an aggressive new phase in DA Cyrus Vance Jr.'s years-long criminal inquiry. The Post said the grand jury would meet 3 times a week for 6 months. Wow. That's a long time. The Manhattan District Attorney is conducting a wide-ranging inquiry into the Trump Organizations and former President Donald Trump's finances, court records show. One major point of examination is whether the Trump Organization broke state tax laws by keeping 2 sets of books, one for favorable tax and loan rates and the other to pay little in taxes. Tuesday's development marks an aggressive new phase in Vance's years-long investigation. Well, I hope someone goes down, but I don't believe consequences exist for rich people in the United States, so I kinda doubt it. Is the sub-goal thing working properly yet? Not quite. It only counts new subs, is how it works. I don't think it's broken, that's just how it works. But anyway, yeah, the previous posts that were like the top posts of all time had thousands and thousands of upvotes. And nowadays, they're getting 186, 400, 200, 200, 145. I've also seen a thing that tracks site traffic, and they're down at least 30% from what I saw. So, did your 5 count then? It probably counted the ones that were new subs to new people, but I'm not sure. So that's the QAnon website. One of them. They're not having a great time. Surprise. Let's move on. Daddy Sume says irrelevant with a link. Not going to play a clip of the producers. I'm always iffy on copyright stuff. Ooh. Just a few seconds. I'm not going to risk it. Just for a producer's joke. If I have to remove this section, I blame you.
Look at this.
What?
I found these 2 accounting books. This one says, show to the IRS.
And what's the other one say?
Never. Show to the IRS.
Yeah. All right. Since we're on the topic of the Q-munity and all those conspiracy theorists, let's see what Peter's up to, shall we? He's got a brand new Trump update video on Rumble.
Before
Let's see what it's about.
2022, something has to be done. What is happening in Arizona is such a big story.
Exactly what those people are going to do and set them up, then you don't know Donald Trump and you don't know the United States military. They knew exactly what these people were going to do. That's That's why in September of 2018, the president signed an executive order, foreign interference in a national election. They're all going to jail. If you think it's stolen, you don't know Donald Trump.
What is happening in Arizona is such a big story. And yet the voter, the Republican voter, that's what they want to hear. They want to hear about 2020. They want to find out, is that something that should be turned over? When they rob a jewelry store of all the...
Donald, you lost the election. People don't... There are a lot of people that love you, but luckily, most people hate you.
diamonds and they get caught, you have to return the diamonds. They want to find out what's going on. The Republican voter wants this story.
Welcome to Peter's Trump Updates. My name is Peter Hanna, and this show I give you guys information on why I think Trump's going to return, how he's going to return, and when he's going to return. And in this specific show, I do have a ton of proof directly from Trump that he will return, and I have very interesting information about how he might return and when he might return. Steve Bannon said supposedly Trump's going to be inaugurated on August 15th. I'll look into that. And at the end, I'm also going to talk about when Trump's going to start doing rallies again, which is very soon. And
Jesus Christ, I'm not looking forward to the Trump rallies. Wouldn't it be funny if there were like, and this isn't going to happen, there's a huge inbuilt like cult base for Donald Trump, but I just think it would be hilarious if he started holding rallies again and no one showed up. Or very few people showed up. Did Peter reply to me? Yeah, he did. He said, yeah, he probably shouldn't be using the isopropyl alcohol for that, and we're going to set up another discussion for sometime later next month. Mike Mack says, can Umbrella just release the T-virus? Humans lived enough. And Nick says, Peter, edible eater.
and where. Please subscribe to this channel, and if you want to support me, there's donation links in the description below, and also you can buy some incredible CBD products that I've been using. It's in the description below, mydailychoice.com/healthsanctuarycbd.
Oh, it's his MLM company that he works for, or rather, he doesn't work for them. He's not an employee. He's a contractor, and by contractor, I mean he's the real customer. He's going to lose money. Pyromancer says, I wish Peter would ditch the two screens in the back and just say God wins, overlay the text. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Also, there's a pretty big glare from his box light. Adia Blue says, Peter, logic eater. And Nick says, time for a nice evening of Hannah and Super Mario 64 speedrunning. Oh, that sounds awesome. Guys, you know what I'm excited for? This is a complete non sequitur. But, one of my favorite games of all time, and a game that actually got me into playing video games, is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And I'm so excited. Zombies Ate My Neighbors is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And I'm so hyped. And it has actual save files instead of just doing the codes. Now we can actually just save. And the sequel to Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Ghoul Patrol, which I never actually played. So there's Zombies Ate My Neighbors. There's Ghoul Patrol. So I'll get to play Zombies and the sequel, which I never actually got to play. So that's fun. Non sequitur over.
The best CBD products that I have seen so far, and if you obviously buy some, I do make a little commission. So let's dive right into it. Exciting news. So first, we have 3 times in a row that Trump says that something has to happen this year. In other words, he has to return this year. There is no other option. And
I mean, that's just Donald Trump being a sore loser and being like, someone do something, make me the president. He lost. Sorry, Peter. Did Ghoul Patrol actually get released? It did. It apparently wasn't as good as the first one, but I'm still excited to play it. 74Quinn74 says, I love CBD. In fact, I have a CBD tattoo. But guess what? MLMs are still bullshit, and so is 99% of what he says about cannabis. Get CBD from a good company and not shit like that. I've considered trying CBD because I had a medical marijuana card for anxiety. But, you know, sometimes you might want to use it and not be high, so I think it would be cool to try CBD sometime. It's just really expensive, and I'm already trying not to spend money right now because Baja and I are planning on moving in together, and there's some expenses involved in that, but, you know. Pyromancer says, played so much of that game, screw the chainsaw guy. Oh, the chainsaw people were the scariest.
That's what I've been saying for months. I've been saying, guys, there is no 2022. There is no 2024. Something has to happen this year, or there isn't going to be any more elections that are fair. There isn't going to be.
The irony of him saying something needs to happen this year and we need to install Donald Trump via military coup, or there'll be no fair elections ever again. It hurts me physically that he doesn't understand what he's saying is, we need to install a dictator to save democracy. And the ambassador says, good luck with the move. Thank you.
Anything else that's going to work for us. It's like game over if there isn't immediate action this year. And here we have Trump literally saying exactly what I have been saying. So it's very refreshing to hear Trump basically agree 100% with what I've been saying for a long time. And I've been saying this before Trump ever came out and said this, because this interview came out a few days ago. So listen to these clips.
You know what's beautiful? Donald Trump has been out of the news cycle so aggressively that I didn't even know he did a new interview over the last couple days. I didn't hear a single thing about it. Beautiful.
Our viewers, your voters, your friends and your foes, they all want to know this one thing. If you, President Trump, plan to take back the White House in 2024.
Well, look, we're doing very well now in getting good people into office with the endorsements. They're winning every single person that I've endorsed virtually is winning.
Virtually is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence as well. Virtually everyone I've endorsed has won. Virtually, as in not everyone that I've endorsed has won. You know how words work. I'm the best at words. I know how to say the words.
And it's stronger now than ever before. A lot of the success of the country is really going to have to do with immediacy, because by the time we get to 2022, they're going to have everything done. The way they're putting things through Congress, McConnell can't stop anybody. He can't stop anybody.
I wish McConnell couldn't stop anybody. Pyromancer says, just like the simulations.
Something doesn't happen fast. You know, this is before 22. I'm saying before 2022, something has to be done, because you'll get to 2020.
And what does that mean, Donald? Are you once again... See, this is the problem. When you don't punish people for doing things like stochastic terrorism, inciting insurrection attempts, they don't think they did anything wrong, so he's just gonna keep doing it.
22, and this will already be done, and you're not going to be able to change it very easily.
So he said 3 things that completely align with him returning in 2021. What are they? First, he said, I'm saying before 2022, something has to be done. Second,
yeah, but that's not him saying something is being done. It's him imploring in a sneaky, air quotes, way, because he thinks he's smarter than he is. He thinks he's telling people, do something, wink, 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 do something, wink, 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 wink. He's not saying he has a plan. He's just trying to incite other people. And he's just, yes, he's generally a spoiled brat. So yes.
Second, he said, a lot of the success of this country is really going to have to do with immediacy. And third, he said, if something doesn't happen fast, there isn't going to be, it's going to be done, whatever. So he's saying that something has to happen this year, not 2022. This year has to be fast, and we have to do this big action immediately, as soon as possible. And I am in complete agreement with Trump. That's what I've been saying for months. So it's very exciting that Trump is confirmed. I mean, honestly, the only thing that could possibly happen is Trump returning. So...
So Peter now has a 100% certainty that Trump will return. Great. Noted.
All these ways of saying that something has to happen sounds a lot like the election results have to be overturned and Trump has to be, come back. When Trump says that if thieves steal diamonds from a diamond shop and they get caught, they have to return the diamonds.
Nothing was stolen, Peter. Trump is the diamond thief in this situation because he wants to become the president even though he lost the election.
When they rob a jewelry store of all the diamonds and they get caught, you have to return the diamonds.
I like that Donald Trump's frame of reference for some sort of petty thievery is a diamond heist. That's where his mind went immediately. Oh, when you rob a place, where do you rob? A diamond store. You rob a diamond store, of course you do. Where else would I get my diamonds?
He's said this also in a statement on his website, donaldjtrump.com, but he repeated again in this interview because he's saying, guys, we caught them cheating. This was a sting operation, and now they have to return what they stole, which...
Wow, isn't it really weird that they let the diamond thieves go and take over the police station for almost 6 months? This is the weirdest sting operation in the history of the world. Like, not only are the jewel thieves in the police station, but they're running the police and setting the police schedules and enforcing the law. Weird. Andrew Batella says, I don't think Trump sometimes uses double meanings for both mainstream Republicans and Anons, but not in the way Peter thinks. Before 2022 would sound to mainstream Republicans to mean before the midterms, but the Anons are definitely taking it as meaning sometime this year. Yeah, that makes sense.
Was the presidency. They have to return it. So he's confirming that they have to return it and that they will. So we now have 100% confirmation that something has to happen this year, guaranteed, if you trust Trump, which I do, has to happen this year. And it sounds like Trump is saying that the presidency has to return to the rightful owner, which is him. So again, he is saying that he will be back this year. And what's really exciting is that Bannon went ahead and he was talking about something, and then he said something about like Trump's inauguration on August 15th. The inauguration on August 15th. And then he stopped himself. He's like, everything has to be ready for August 15th inauguration. And then he tries to. So
he probably misspoke then. Stephen J. Neptune Man says, isn't Donald and Ivanka under criminal investigation right now? The Donald Trump organization is under criminal investigation. I don't know if he is directly, a party of that investigation.
So it's very weird.
If alive, do I think Trump will run again? Yes.
He doesn't say Trump's inauguration on August 15th, but he does say, look, there can only be one inauguration. And he says everything has to be ready, with the whole election being overturned and everything, by August 15th for the inaugural.
We got to get done for the August 15th inaugural. We got to get done for the August 15th inaugural. We got to get done for the August 15th inaugural.
See, that sounds like anar to me, not inaug. Anar. What was the rest of the statement also? Because the context would actually help suss out what he was trying to say there. Because I would imagine, with context, whatever he's saying wouldn't have made sense if he had said inauguration, right? Otherwise, you would have played that.
That sounds exactly like inauguration. So this video is viral. It's been spreading all over the internet because...
It's been spreading in the Q sphere, which is a relatively small sphere of the internet.
One of two things is happening. Either Bannon knew when Trump's inauguration is going to be, which is August 15th, and it was a Freudian slip, actually slipped out, right? Because he says August 15th inaugural. It sounds like inauguration. It's a good time for Trump to...
Someone stumbling over words equals he's actually a genius sending me a secret message. Yeah, it's scary how little it takes for these people to latch on to something and decide that it's a secret message.
Return to...
Kafifi, yeah, that's a good example.
Two, it aligns with Mike Lindell said Trump will be back by August. And Steve Bannon is now saying August 15th inauguration. So either it was a Freudian slip, he knew when Trump's going to return, he accidentally said it live on air and they cut it out, and now we have this video clip. Or you always have to acknowledge the possibility that maybe this wasn't a Freudian slip, this was a strategic move.
I had too much faith in Peter. For a second, I thought he was actually going to say, in fairness, it could just be him misspeaking. Of course not. Of course not. Of course he doesn't say that. He has to say, not only is this a Freudian slip, this was an intentional strategy by Bannon. Stephen J. Neptune Man says, QAnon right now is like that night. 'Tis only a flesh wound.
That Trump won't be back on August 15th, but Steve Bannon said it to as a feint, like a deep state feint, like.
So even if it doesn't happen, then it was just a trick. We win either way. Unfalsifiable. Take that, libs. Hey, Altered Rin, how you doing?
A strategic move, like to have the deep state panicking in August when really Trump's going to return either earlier.
Pyromancer says, Pillow Guy also said he'd have a functional website, and look at where we are now. Right? Right? Why does he believe these people? They're all liars.
In August or later, you know, July or September. So it's possible that it was an accident. He said it on purpose and made it seem like an accident so that he could trick up the deep state and kind of confuse their plans. Or maybe he is going to return August 15th. Listen to this clip. I'm going to replay it a few times. You let me know what you think, because one way or another, this is exciting news because we have a second person. Now we have Mike Lindell and Steve Bannon both pointing to August as Trump's return, and that's very soon. So I'm super, super excited about that.
Remember, it's going to take as long as it takes. And if what they found so far with under 20% of the ballots,
they have more time.
Take your time. We got the canvas due. We're in no hurry, right? We're going to get it done. We got to get it done for the August 15th. Oh, no, I'm just.
I see what you did there. And by the way, 60% off Giza sheets.
No, you better book Trump Hotel right now. Okay, we're going to be.
Oh, he's grifting. I gotcha. He's grifting. Cool. I see how Peter could be fooled in this scenario because he's actively fucking with QAnon people as part of a grift. Gotcha.
Doing live broadcast. Mike Lindell, Boris Epps.
No. Fine, I'm into MAGA. I'm in.
We're going to ask Lindell this very question tomorrow about the August. Okay.
And finally, we have some information about Trump's rallies. When's he's going to start and where they're going to be. So take a listen to this clip and we can...
Interesting that he's so busy fighting the deep state, but he has time to hold egotistical rallies just to stroke his big hands.
Discuss it.
In the meantime, our viewers would all like to know when you will hold your next rally. They're waiting to see you in person. When are you going to do that next?
Relatively soon, we'll be doing one in Florida. We're going to do one in Ohio. We're going to do one in Georgia. We're going to do one in North Carolina. We'll be announcing them very soon over the next week or two. And I think we'll probably start in Florida and Ohio. And we'll be announcing the rallies very shortly.
So Trump is going to be rallying soon. I think that it's very interesting because people hear he's going to do rallies. They think he's starting to run for 2024. But I think these rallies are
probably what he's doing. It's probably one of two things. Either genuinely planning on running and wants to win because ego and he lost and he's pissed off about it and he wants to redeem himself. Or two, he's going to grift money out of people and hold these rallies and sell merchandise there and get people on mailing lists to send him money and all sorts of grifty stuff.
Are going to be like victory runs, rallies, or maybe they're truth rallies, because these rallies that are going to happen are not for running in 2024. That's not what these rallies are for. They're about something else. I think they're about revealing the truth, getting on the news, getting a bunch of people to listen to him so he can put out all the information and talk about election fraud, especially in Arizona. I want to point out that Trump has said that this Arizona audit is a big story. That's why I put it in my new intro twice, because that is a big deal.
What is happening in Arizona is such a big story.
Because if you look out throughout this whole video, you'll see that Trump's saying he will return based...
I find this funny, too, because the Arizona audit has been such a disaster for them so far. They were out on camera talking about trying to look for bamboo fibers on the ballots because they thought they were printed in China. They were talking about looking for secret watermarks that don't exist, and they were literally using black lights to look for these things. And the state government literally had to come in and be like, guys, there are no watermarks. We printed those ballots. There are not watermarks on any of them. And then they originally had the place that they're doing the air quote audit at rented out through the 14th, because I guess they assumed by the 14th they would have whatever evidence, air quote, that they thought they were going to need. And now they're still doing it because they haven't found the evidence that they wanted that there's any fraud, because surprise, it wasn't a fraudulent election. Joe Biden just won. So it's interesting that they're still pushing the whole Arizona audit thing.
basically, and because the presidency has to be returned
The Republican Secretary of State said the audit is BS. Yeah, it's embarrassing, quite honestly.
to the rightful owner. He says it has to happen this year. And then he says, so when you're wondering like, oh, well, when's he going to return? How's that going to happen? You look right at the audit, which Trump says is a big story. So the how is going to be the audits. And the when is maybe going to be August 15th. And if he's going to return, well, he said himself, the presidency has to be returned. The diamonds have to be returned to the jewelry store. So he will return.
Tina 2, thanks for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Right now we're looking at our favorite QAnon conspiracy theorist to debunk, Peter. Go check out Tina 2's channel here on Twitch. Can I get a link? Could someone link Tina 2 in the chat? I'm Hannah. I'm a trans leftist streamer. I do all sorts of stuff. I do Chud Watch, where I look at right-wing grifters and kind of make fun of them and talk about the topics that they're talking about. Today's Tinfoil Tuesday, where we look at conspiracy theorists and debunk them. I do Sovereign Citizen Watch, all sorts of fun stuff. So if you like what you see, give me a follow.
It could be August 15th. If I were to guess, I would say like maybe 45%.
Thank you, Pyromancer, for linking. Yep, and Halloween Town, thanks for linking. Go check out Tina 2. The links are in the chat. MW1642, thank you for gifting a sub.
Chance would be August 15th. I'm not sure. I don't want to get your hopes up and say, he's returning August 15th, I promise, I swear. That's just not the case.
Peter, then why did you make this video that says August 15th inauguration in all caps? But you didn't want to get people's hopes up. But you said, Bannon, August 15th inauguration! Exclamation point. Cool. Your Environment Seattle, thanks for subscribing.
I'm optimistic he will, but who knows? We don't know for sure. We've had these dates thrown out before by untrustworthy people, and they ended up being wrong. But now we have trustworthy people, two people, Mike Lindell.
Ah, yeah. The trustworthy people that are Mike Lindell, Pillow Huckster, and Steve Bannon, ex-convict.
Bannon saying August for Trump's return, so I'm very excited for that. One thing I've noticed about this big audit is that they're trying really hard to distract people from this Arizona audit. And they're using the big card that the deep state still has up their sleeve. And what is the big deep state's card, their big distraction card? Well, they can do false flags that distract from the audit, and they have been. But I've
such as
noticed that over the last few days, because my mom watches Fox News, every single night I hear, you know, Hannity or Tucker or Judge Janine all talk about UFOs. UFOs are real. UFOs are real. Or
yeah, I'd imagine Fox News is probably focusing on the UFO disclosure thing because they have nothing else to talk about. Because they can't even bitch about stuff that actually is bullshit, like Biden not doing the student loan forgiveness stuff because they like that, because they're right-wingers who don't want to help anyone. So they just have to be like, I don't know. They released a thing that says UFOs are real. Let's talk about that. Which is funny anyway, because Peter believes in aliens. Peter thinks he's been abducted by aliens 3 or 4 times. I forget the exact number. Shouldn't he be excited about that? Even though the UFO thing is literally just like, there are objects we see sometimes that we don't know what they are. Doesn't mean they're aliens. But conspiracy theorists are all over it anyway. Like, oh my god, it's proof of aliens. But I guess Peter cares more about Donald Trump than he does life from other planets.
Extraterrestrials, real, UFOs, aliens, 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 aliens. And I think
One America News and Newsmax called Fox... Oh, One America News called Newsmax and Fox News leftist news organizations. Someday, I swear to God, the right's gonna be like, this is the only real right-wing, real media organization, and it's literally just gonna be an audiobook reading of Mein Kampf on a loop 24 hours a day. It's gonna be Mein Kampf and Triumph of the Will, just playing in rotation. Over and over and over. This is the real news. Nick says, I honestly hope One America News goes bankrupt. All their news is presented by Rule 3363 Goebbels.
Considering they've had decades to talk about this, but they're really ramping it up right now, right before the audit's going to come out, it sounds like they're trying to distract people because
only one thing can be happening in the world at once. That's the rules. Andrew says, the one true test of whether UFO is an alien. Make a barbecue and see if they drop by. If they're vegan, they're fake aliens. Bellum Guardian says, don't forget Ayn Rand's books too. Zozo Horror Show says, and the only film will be Birth of a Nation.
If Republicans hear, oh, Trump won in Arizona, and Democrats hear, Trump won in Arizona, and then the mainstream media says, aliens are real, everyone's going to be like, what? Aliens are real? Completely distracted.
They didn't even say aliens are real, Peter. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Distracted from the audit, and that's what they want. They're going to do everything they can to distract from the results of this audit, including talking a ton about how aliens are real. That's my prediction, because why else would they be all of a sudden talking so much about UFOs every single night on Fox News?
Because they just released that thing that was like, hey, sometimes the Air Force sees weird stuff when they're flying around. That's what it is.
UFOs, who knows? Handy did a whole show about UFOs and aliens and stuff like that. That cannot be a coincidence. The timing about releasing the biggest truth ever, which is aliens are real.
Part of it probably has to do with the fact that the right has been basically taken over completely by conspiracy nut jobs. So those networks know that they can get views by talking about aliens, because there's a pretty big crossover between wackos who are into this kind of stuff and people who believe in aliens. Peter is an example of that.
The timing, the fact...
Does this count as aliens? Yes, it does. Check your bingo cards. Aliens.
The fact that they're releasing that now, right before the audit results, that's not a coincidence. So stay focused on the audit. Don't get distracted. Yes, aliens are real. But focus on the audit, because that's what matters right now. Disclosure of aliens, the right way, will come from Trump this year. Don't listen to what the mainstream media is going to say. They're going to try to push a big lie that there's an alien invasion and we need to make one world government. And then Trump's going to come out and say, no, 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 guys. The aliens are on our side. They're good. There's no alien invasion. Nothing to worry about. And that should happen this year, if not within a year, definitely. So...
What? Okay, this is all new information from Peter to me. So Peter apparently thinks that there's going to be some sort of alien false flag attack, even though aliens are real. The deep state is going to fake an alien invasion to create one world government. And then Trump, along with the real aliens, are going to come in from stage left and be like, hold on, guys. I have the real aliens right here, and they're on our side. And guess what? Even though they're space aliens, they're a big fan of American nationalism. So, take it away, aliens. And then the aliens will rock up in their ship that has truck nuts, and it has "Make the Galaxy Great Again" on the window. Hydrate. Okie dokie.
Very exciting. That's my opinion on why they're coming out with all this alien talk right before the audit results. Let me know if you guys really enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed sharing it and making it with you guys. And if you enjoyed it, please share and like and spread this video around. And if you want to support me, you can donate in the description below, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. And also, you can buy CBD products in the link below, mydailychoice.com/healthsanctuarycbd, so that you can get good healing products and then I can make a commission. So thank you everyone for watching. And just one thing I want to say before I go is that if it takes me a long time to make a video, it's only because I'm working very hard on it. So if I don't post for like a week, it means that the next video that's come out is going to be very, very good, that I worked very hard on it. Because
it makes me sad that Peter actually puts work into these videos, because if he was talking about something else that was a real thing, He's, you know, a middling all-right presenter, at least on the same level as me, right? I do the same thing. Look at how similar our sets are. We're just jackasses sitting mid-frame. You know, he even has sort of a better background than me. Idiot sitting mid-frame talking about whatever bullshit. That's fine. I think I'm a little more charismatic, but maybe I'm just tooting my own horn there. Anyway, he could do fine if he wanted to talk about anything else. Like, he's a marijuana aficionado. If he wanted to do a channel that's just talking about weed, cool. He could probably do an alright job. He could do a middling job, although he did tell people to eat isopropyl alcohol the other day, which isn't a good thing to do. Don't do that. But instead he does this stuff and he just wastes all his time spreading nonsense. It's sad. Andrew Patella says, make Emperor Palpatine great again. Rational Dove, thank you for subscribing for 4 months, says, how is QAnon still a thing? It's been almost half a year since Biden was elected. At some point there has to be some disillusionment. It has shrunk, somewhat, but I mean it's basically a cult, so it's kind of hard to pull people away from. Zozo Horror Show says, Peter has the charisma of a tree stump. He sounds so unenthusiastic. Kind of depends. I don't know. I think he's just kind of chill because he does a ton of CBD that he made that has isopropyl alcohol in it.
I'm not stopping working, and
yeah, I'll do the bingo card once we're done with this video.
And I'm going to, in less than a month from now, I'll be switching to full-time, and I might be able to post like 6 videos a week.
Ugh, I can only get so erect.
So I'm really looking forward to that. I have a ton of content to share with you guys. But I hope this video cheers you up, and I hope you like my new intro for this show, because I worked very hard on the new intro. I'm not like an excellent videographer or like editor or anything like that. I just have good information. So hopefully you like the intro. Hopefully this cheers you guys up. Trump says he will return. People are saying it's going to be August. Something's got to happen. I'm very optimistic, very excited. This is going to be an amazing year. So look forward to everything, everybody. And take out the popcorn, because it looks like in a few days, the show is about to start.
It's always just a few days away from all the Q things being proven right, even though they've been nothing but wrong for years. But now, in a couple days, it's always about to be the storm, okay? Obviously. So that's Peter. Still depressing. Let's look at the bingo card. Love the horns, but am I not worried they act as antennas? That's a good point. I need to put like a Faraday cage in this room or something. Let's see. We have aliens, 4chan, 8chan as a source, the deep state, QAnon as a source, word salad, false flag operation, Matrix is a metaphor for being trans. That's what we have so far. No, I don't think Die of Laughter happened yet. One of these days, Planet X will happen. Someday. Someday. Yeah, Matrix was on the thing. I'm out of water, so I'm going to go grab some more water real quick. And then we'll keep going. M. the Ambassador says, I wonder how many QAnon people will claim that Trump's head will run for president when he dies. Hold on, let me put on some music or something while I do this.
Let's take a trip to the DIA. Check out the guillotine, ain't it gay? The next thing you know, they're gonna chop your head, 'cause the New World Order wants to see you dead. The New World Order has an evil plan. They say we're overpopulated in our land. Abortion, euthanasia, whatever leaves you dead, are what these evil people call holy sacraments. Let's take a trip to the DIA. Check out the devil horse, ain't it gay? The sculptor showed Lucifer was rearing up, but the horse fell apart, knocked him on his butt. The sculptor died, or so the story goes. It wasn't happy, painted blue from tail to nose. So if you go to Denver, don't fly by aeroplane, or else the demon horse may kill someone again. Let's take a trip to the DIA. Check out the dirty bird, ain't it gay? The penguin's got package just like Cooper said, and its name is Impanus, I wouldn't kid. Now Stephen Colbert, he's another dunce. They never can refute me, no, not even once. All they can do is mock me and try to get me pissed, so Anderson can keep me on his ridiculous. Let's take a trip to the DIA. Check out the voodoo word, ain't it gay? And just below that is Jesus' Last Supper, except the Lord is a girl. Yeah, the joke's on her. So blasphemy.
Thrash Mio says Futurama episode with Trump head versus Nixon head. I don't want to see Donald Trump ever again, so no. Steven Goblin says, I just can't bring myself to hate Peter. He seems like he'd be otherwise a sweet dumb guy. He sounds like a stoned, heavily concussed golden retriever, forever tracing after a Trump truck. Yeah, it's frustrating. I'm Not an Apple. Thank you for subscribing for 2 months. Says, you're great, Hannah. Happy to be part of the community. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're a part of it. Okay, enough of this, dude. Let's see what CC is up to. CC is a flat earther and a COVID denier, or at least an anti-vaxxer, so we'll have to see what he's up to.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 5/22/21.
Yep, flat earth on the bingo card.
When the media told you that sneezing created a 35-foot radius of infection,
potential,
I was there.
Oh God, is he about to get all dramatic? Like, when this happened, I was there! Miss K's with 100 bits says, CC the homie.
I was outdoors, helping others. When the media told you that any surface that you make contact with, that a virus could last up to 72 hours, I was there.
Yeah, they were being overly cautious. I don't know what the current number is, but when you have a novel virus that's brand new and no one knows anything, you start being very, very cautious, and then as you learn more about it, if you determine that you can be a little less cautious, you do so. But you rather overshoot than undershoot because it's a global pandemic. D-Zug says, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be, the living embodiment of Dunning-Kruger here.
Helping other people.
You know, I'll give this to Chris. His one good feature. He's got a great head of hair.
When the media told you that you have to stay in, do not go out, do not drive anywhere, order all your food from an outdoor source, I was there to help.
Yes, which is a good thing, because what was the U.S. COVID deaths? I don't even know what we're at right now. I haven't looked in a while. U.S. COVID deaths were at almost 600,000 dead people from COVID, and that is with the restrictions that we had in place. It would have been even worse if we didn't. So thank you, everyone. Everyone who actually followed restrictions and precautions and stayed inside unless they had to go out and wore masks and washed your hands very regularly and used hand sanitizer, thank you. Thank you for helping mitigate the disaster that has been the fucking coronavirus.
Other people. When the media told you that people are dying, I was there.
He gets so dramatic. When the media told you that people were dying, I was there. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. We were all there.
There. They have done so much damage to the human population right now. I can't even tell you how bad it is. I mean,
and he does public transportation for a living, so he knows a lot of things about a lot of things, okay? He's an expert. He's a jack of all trades, except he's an expert at all those trades. You need a virologist? Boom, CC. You need an astronomer? Boom, CC. Geologist? CC. Biologist? CC. He knows it all, okay? Why is he driving a wheelchair-accessible van in New York State? He's just humble. He's the humblest.
This, you know, I understand the human mind is, it's, well, when it's trained like we were trained, it's easy to mold. You know what I'm saying? And when they're watching CNN and when they're watching all these...
Conspiracy theorists are obsessed with the idea that everyone other than them watches CNN. I don't watch CNN. Why do they think we all just sit in front of our TVs and watch CNN 24 hours a day? Where is that idea coming from? Ashy Boo with 20 bits says, Hannah, I thought I'd just let you know that your voice is sounding great today. Very feminine, and you look great as usual. Thank you.
Ridiculous media platforms. They don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Because they believe it. And I mean, I can understand that in a way. Even when I was a child, I was annoyed when the media would come on or the news would come on because I knew it was all bullshit.
And if I trust anyone, it's a dejected child looking at the news and being like, flipping their emo hair and going, man, society's bullshit, am I right? Fuck society, middle fingers up. That's an opinion I usually take very seriously.
You know, I don't want to hear anything. When it comes down to nonsense. And that's what we're dealing with right now. All right. I've been out there ever since day one, and I'm sure many other flat earthers have been too. Out there living our lives and enjoying ourselves while these other people that are just now starting to come out and still wearing face masks, and they've been vaxxed. Well, I don't know. You see, this is something I don't understand. All right, the science led them here, you know, to get vaxxed, right? Okay, now tell me, am I wrong? So, if they believe in the science that led them to get vaxxed, why do they not believe the science that they don't have to wear a face mask anymore?
Sure, I can explain that for a couple of reasons. First of all, there are plenty of businesses that still require face coverings even if you have been vaccinated because they don't want to take the time to check everyone's Vax ID cards. Secondly, I think it sets a good example and makes sure that people who aren't vaxxed are still wearing their masks. Thirdly, because even though you do have a vaccination, vaccines aren't 100%. They're in the 90 or 80% range depending on the vaccine that you get, so it's always good to double up on precautions. It's the same reason that someone might take a birth control pill and have their partner wear a condom, right? If you double up on protections, you're even safer. So there are a variety of reasons, not to mention the fact that new strains are happening because there are people who aren't vaxxed because they're anti-vax or whatever, and those new strains could be less, how do I want to put this? less prevented by the vaccines. Who knows? So it's not bad to be safe. Again, these people act like masks are this huge imposition when they're really not. It's just a small piece of cloth that goes right here. It's not a big deal.
Anymore. Because they've gotten vaxxed. They have a suit of armor on right now. But they're still wearing it.
Stephen J. Neptune Man says, don't you know, Hannah? Everyone who hates Trump is a blue-haired, gender-fluid SJW lesbian gay who watches CNN, listens to NPR, and drinks Starbucks while eating avocados and then goes on Tumblr to make up new genders. Yeah, that's basically what I do all the time. Nick says, because my mask has hedgehogs, and I like hedgehogs. Sky Comet Fallen says, when I was a child, I just thought the news was boring. I wanted to watch SpongeBob or the Powerpuff Girls. Zamsada, thanks for subscribing for 2 months on a 2-month streak. Mike Max has a really great point, says, CC, why drive with a seatbelt when you have an airbag? And then Bumble Homestead says, plus I've gotten used to not breathing the germ goblin's air. Kinda like it.
Why?
I missed your bits. Hold on, let me go back. Sorry, Sky Comet Fallen. No, I got that. I was just late on it. Sorry.
Are they questioning science? But science brought them to where they are right now.
Correct.
Pumped up with some sort of shit that we have no fucking idea what it is.
No. We know what it is. It's been approved by the FDA.
And who the hell knows what's going to happen to them in 10 years?
I actually saw a really interesting thing yesterday. It was an article about now that they've made so much progress in the last year on mRNA vaccines because so much money got pumped into it because of coronavirus. They're now going into phase 1 testing on an mRNA flu vaccine and an mRNA HIV vaccine, which is amazing. So, honestly, I mean, the coronavirus is terrible, but the technology that's come out of it, I'm sure mRNA vaccines would have become a thing either way, but it kind of hit the fast forward button on the research for them. So that's great. Stephen J. Neptune Man says, wait, this dude is an anti-vax, anti-mask flat earther? He's a triple threat. I know. He's impressive.
After there's no repercussions? I mean, even the fucking flu shot, for crying out loud, which I've never taken before.
Why? You should probably get the flu shot.
I mean, at least they have 12 years of clinical trial, there for you. But they have nothing. Zero. And they've lined up for it. I brought people for this fucking shot, and they've been sitting in my fucking truck, and I'm telling them, I just want to tell them, what the hell are you doing? Why?
Oh, God. For those who don't know, again, like I said, CC drives for a living. What his job is driving a wheelchair-accessible van that can hold like 4 to 6 people in wheelchairs. So I'm assuming he does a lot of transportation for the elderly, along with people who probably suffer from some other conditions. And he's an anti-vaxxer. Can you imagine this idiot talking to people, old, vulnerable people, or people who are vulnerable for other reasons, and being like, oh yeah, you shouldn't take the vaccine because I did my research online. By the way, do you know the Earth is flat? Ridiculous. Color by Emmy says, I talked with my therapist about this today. I'm very slowly approaching social situations with a lot of anxiety. I know a lot of people share my pain, but I feel like socially I'm behind the people that ignored all the mandates. I mean, it's still for the best that you were safe. You just gotta kind of get into it slowly, like getting into a pool that's a little cool. You just gotta dip your toe in, and then eventually you'll sort of get acclimated again. It's gonna be hard for a lot of people to go back to how things kind of were, but we'll all get there, even if it takes some people more time than others. It's okay. Pyromancer says he better watch out for shedding. Sarcasm. The shedding thing is, there's a conspiracy theory amongst anti-vaxxers that if you get the vaccination that you're somehow going to shed vaccination onto them, which will secretly vaccinate them without actually getting the vaccination. So they're basically treating the vaccination like it's a virus, even though they didn't take the actual virus seriously. It's pretty funny.
Why? What? You know, don't worry about it. You still go to a football game if you want to. You can still go to a baseball game if you want to. They're just going to segregate you over there. And that's fine with me.
Yeah, then get the vaccine or don't go to the baseball game.
Not that I would ever go to one of these stupid events anyway, but still, I mean, think about it. You know, when we were all trained, when we go to these stadiums, you know, you'd have one guy on top of you, you know, sneezing back and forth. And now they're going to segregate the people that are not masked, that are not vaxxed, and that's fine. They're going to keep them 6 feet in distance. I think that's a pleasure. Do you have to pay extra for that? I don't think so. All right. So, I mean, really, this actually, the tables are, no, you know what? I'm not going to get into it right now. But, okay, so that last video that I put out anyway was a nice reminder of, you know, what they've been doing. And the 80s was very strong.
He regularly does this thing where he'll just start opining about the 80s, you know, like an old person, and he'll be like, back in my day, the music was better. That's not hyperbole, by the way. He did a whole video where he just bitched for like 5 minutes about how the music was better in the 80s. So now I guess he's going to talk about how in the 80s we weren't pussies. We had a president that sold arms to Iran to fund the Contras. Woo! Like, really? Are we going to go here? Zamsada says, my mom believes in shedding. Oh, my throat. Ooh, I've been talking a lot today. Samsada says, my mom believes in shedding. She thinks vaccinated people are shedding flu-like symptoms that will take you to the hospital to get tested for corona, and she says the tests are so sensitive that anything will trigger a positive response. Oh, God. Chozo lore with hydrate. Thank you. Whew. Pyromancer says, the 80s, when he was taught that the Earth revolved around the sun. Pyromancer says, sun around the Earth. Whoops. Mike Mack says, didn't he thought the 80s was 20 years ago? Yes, he did mention at one point, he's like, 20 years ago in the 80s, even though the 80s was 40 years ago. Adia Blue says, to be fair, CC can cook a mean hard-boiled egg. That's true. Bellum Guardian says, I unironically still like 80s music a lot, but the whole Lorong generation shit is so cringe. Oh, I agree. I like 80s music. But, like, anyone who's like, this specific decade of music is the best and every other one since then sucks is just a child. It's super childish.
I think that's where the programming really started in the 70s. Not as much in the 50s, but I mean, very strong in the 70s and very strong in the 80s. Look up, you know, just research it. Check it out.
Do your own research. Nick says, thanks for the second reminder today. The 80s were 40 years ago. My first being the cashier not checking my ID when I bought White Claws. White Claws, is it a white boy summer already? You doing White Claws on the front lawn? I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of you. Enjoy your White Claws.
You're going to find a lot of neat stuff. Anyway, I hope everybody's good. And I hope you're enjoying the... Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. China put a radio transmitter on the dark side of the moon. That's a great place for it, isn't it, guys? Of all the places on the moon.
If that did happen, I haven't heard about it, but I assume he's basing that off on some article. It's probably for some sort of scientific research. I have no idea. Big Nap Hours, thanks for following.
Why not put a radio telescope on the dark side?
I mean, if it's a radio telescope, yeah, you would put it on the dark side so it's facing away from the Earth and can, you know, view into space that's away from the Earth. Does he understand he sounds like an idiot? Why are you putting a telescope on the side of the moon that's facing away from the Earth? Like, because there's space out there. Because if it is a radio telescope, because they're going to use it to look at stuff from the moon.
You see how... You see how much bullshit this is? I mean, come on, man. I mean, if you can't wake up to this fucking bullshit and...
Noise would be blocked out by the moon, so better images. That makes sense. Does the moon not rotate? This is actually interesting. The moon does rotate, but it rotates at the exact same... It's a phenomenon called tidal locking, where the moon rotates, but it rotates at exactly the same rate around the Earth as the Earth. How do I put this? It rotates around the Earth at the same rate as its orbit. Yes, thank you. So even though it is rotating, the same face is always facing us. So imagine this microphone is the Earth, and this, well, no, let's do this. This bottle of omeprazole is the moon, and the purple cap is the light side of the moon. So it's circling the Earth, and as it's doing so, it's also rotating at the same rate. So the light side of the moon is always facing the Earth no matter what. It's quite interesting. Yep, tidal locking. Sky Comet Fallen says maybe he thinks the dark side is always actually dark and not just invisible to us. Perhaps. And then Adia Blue says dark side means the moon cannot receive radio signals from the Earth. To go completely out of contact is known as going dark, hence dark side of the moon.
If you can't wake up to this bullshit, then you're fucking done. Done! For the last fucking year and a half, you have been dealing with complete nonsense. Bullshit!
He mad.
Man.
Yeah, that was Cassia. Wow, he just ended the video mad. That's a shame. Nick says, grab a Snickers, CC. Here's his follow-up video.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. Hot day today, 93 degrees. It's 5:23, 21. Most people ask why. Why do you do this, Chris?
Yeah, Cassia's in here.
Why? You don't want it? Because I knew there was something wrong. Something is just not right. I didn't need a P1000 camera.
A P1000 camera and a P900 camera are two cameras that are favored by flat Earth proponents because they will use them to zoom in on the horizon of like a lake or an ocean or something to try and bring things back into the view, which I forget the name of the phenomenon, but basically when something goes over the horizon, you can bring it back into focus because of refraction or something. I'm not super familiar with it, but it's a thing that they use often. Did I see this? Oh god, the content. What is it? Mike Lindell presents MAGA Frank, Wisconsin, oh no, rally. June 12th, 2021, 1 to 5 p.m. River's Edge Concert Park in Somerset, Wisconsin. Gates open at 9 a.m. Diamond and Silk, Danielle D'Souza, Charlie Kirk, Mike Lindell, Dinesh D'Souza, Sheriff Clark, and Brannon Howes. For free tickets and info, go to frankspeech.com. Boy, it sure would be a shame if a bunch of people went and reserved tickets and then didn't show up. Wouldn't it? That'd be such a shame. You still gotta put in a phone number, though. I hate that.
Before I became a flat earther, I could just,
do I think he's mad because no one is listening to him, or is he seeing the evidence against his argument and doesn't know how to deal with it? The first one. I don't think Chris has the capability to recognize he's wrong.
I could just tell something's wrong, you know, with everything. I wouldn't stake my life on it, and that's what I'm doing, you know? Most of you fucking trolls out there don't have the balls to even make a channel. I have. And here I am.
He's mad lately, dang. I missed your bits. I'm sorry. Andrew Patella says, I think title locking refers to the basic resonance of frequencies. Liberation, linked in the chat, is an additional variation on top of that frequency caused by minor gravitational variations. Libration means we can actually see something 60-something% of the moon from Earth. Oh, okay. Interesting.
And there are many other flat earthers that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, if not more. Staking our lives on this. And if I...
How are you staking your life on it, rather?
Didn't believe it. If I knew something was wrong, and I knew it was not accurate, I wouldn't make a channel. I have no other fucking social network at all whatsoever. I was totally against putting my face out there on anything. And why would I? For what? So I could show you what I ate for breakfast?
You literally made a video like a couple weeks ago about making eggs. What?
I mean, it's bullshit.
Hold on. He literally has a video where he makes eggs. We watched it. Where's the egg video? Show me your egg video. Which one is it? I think it's this one. He made eggs. Yeah, this is the one where he makes eggs. It's an 11-minute video where he explains how to make hard-boiled eggs. Do I think he calls himself Sheriff Clark because Sheriff Clark was responsible for the police using cattle prods at Selma? I have no idea. Is he a sheriff that's named Clark also? I don't know the guy. I've not heard of him. And then in a second video, he made soft shell crab. Don't know why he's bitching.
Fucking social network is nonsense. The only reason why social networking has been invented itself is to reach out to people. To reach out to flat earthers. And that's why I'm here. I made a lot of friends and I love them all. You know, people I'll never, ever, ever be able to meet because of flat earth.
Cave Geek Art, thanks for following. He does look like he's gonna cry.
People understand. They have to understand.
Which I have nothing, you know, I'm not being toxic. If he needs to cry, cry. Nothing wrong with a good cry. It's just interesting that it is about this.
Understand that this is all wrong. Don't you see the fucking chemtrails? Don't you see the politicians? Don't you...
Chemtrails aren't real.
You see all the fucking nonsense. All the bullshit. The mathematical computations of the Earth aren't even correct.
And why do you think you're qualified to say that, CC? Again, I've never seen you do math, ever. So can you show your work here and show why you think that this is bullshit?
You can't. I mean, really. You can pull in a fucking boat from miles and miles away when you should not be able to see the bow of that boat, let alone the entire fucking boat. We can't dig down 8.5 miles, no more than that. 7.5, whatever the...
You reversed CC's last video? Why? Why? Oh, that's off-putting?
Es done. Il macht de wheelies nibui. Henry, No.
Very Lynchian. Fraggled Rock says, bingo. Let me check that bingo. Deep State. QAnon. Free Space. Chemtrails Word Salad. That's a winner-winner. Chicken dinner. Fraggled Rock. I will gift you a sub. Woot. There you go. Congratulations! So that's our bingo winner for today. We can keep playing for funsies, but that is the official winner. They're terrible at coding, so you don't need to give your number to register. You just need to have an Eventbrite account. I gave a fake number and registered. Okay, this is what the Frank Speech site looks like now. Let me save this to my bookmarks bar. No, conspiracy. This goes under conspiracy. Thank you. Hoo boy. Boy, it sure would be a shame if a bunch of people registered to get tickets that they don't want or need, thus making fewer people show up to the actual event. Don't do that. That would be terrible. God, the site still looks so bad. Help save our country, the Lindell Legal Defense Fund. Thank you for Mike Lindell, sending the savings directly to you. My Pillow Premium's now $30. Again, this is supposed to be a social networking site, and it's just him and people he likes bitching. Oh, boy. Okay, we'll investigate this some other time. Oh, wait, here's his legal defense fund thing.
Hello, everyone. God has blessed me with a platform to be a voice for freedom. This incredible exposure has resulted in me becoming like a hub of a wheel for information. Individuals and groups have reached out to me from all over, telling me of the efforts that they are doing to help save our country. I have vetted these efforts, lawsuits, and projects, and I guarantee you that 100% of every dollar you donate to the Lindell Legal Offense Fund will go directly to the most urgent causes at this time. I want to thank each and every one of you for helping out in this critical time in our history. With everyone's help, we will get through this, and it'll be the greatest uniting of our country ever. And once again, we will be one nation under God. Thank you, and God bless.
Caller by Emmy says, I think on that flyer they photoshopped Charlie Kirk's face to fill out his head, and then Firemancer says that logo is even more ugly. Yeah, this is... I took a class in high school that involved Photoshop, and we had to make, like, posters and stuff very similar to this for, like, fake events or whatever. Honestly, that kind of looks like something I would make back in the day. Just saying. That's creepy.
Fuck it, maybe. It doesn't make a difference. But yet, we are produced with all of these fucking pictures and all of this nonsense that are feeding your children. I don't know what it was. I really don't. It was a combination of things. It wasn't one actual video or something that brought me to Flat Earth. It just was instinct. It just didn't, it doesn't make any sense. You know, all these fucking people with these fucking face masks and all this nonsense and all this bullshit, they created this to put a cap on Flat Earth.
Again, he thinks everything's about Flat Earth. How does his wife deal with him, honestly? How close is she to divorcing this guy? Because at this point, it's one thing to just believe in the Flat Earth stuff, but it clearly is affecting him emotionally to the point where he is, like, angry. How does she live with this guy?
Okay, don't you see that? I just can't believe I'm here to see it. I can't believe I'm here to witness this. And all of us in the Flat Earth community. And if you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, Flat Earth 2.0, if you want to call it whatever the fuck it is, we are the Flat Earth. And we are the people that know that the Earth is flat. We are the people that understand that the Earth is flat. We are the people that are going beyond this nonsense and this other bullshit that most people think is real when we know it's bullshit. I have so many more friends to make and so many more friends that I'm going to meet. And I know. And I can't wait. You know, but I would not put my life, my reputation on something that I did not believe in. 100%. And I'm not going to sit here and try to talk somebody into flat Earth.
That's literally the point of all your videos.
There's no talking about flat Earth.
Aspen6 says, hot take, Mike Pillow wants people to register, so there are people who have done it, and they'll take that to the bank. They're not playing the truth game, they're playing the lying game, and you're giving the fuel by registering. I don't think that's true.
I mean, you either realize it or you don't.
Like, they're not getting anything by registering. It's similar to, remember Trump had that rally, and a bunch of K-pop fans fake registered, and they thought a bunch of people were going to show up, and then like a third of the stadium was empty. It's like that.
That's the bottom fucking line. Don't you see that?
Someone needs to edit CC's angry videos into like a Joker-esque trailer where it's about him snapping.
So much more. You know, I mean, once Flat Earth is there, I mean, you've got mud flood, you've got a whole other series of shit that are going to open up that you'll understand that our whole history has been we've been lied to. All of us have been lied to about complete fucking nonsense. Our whole history, all of our education. All of it is nonsense. Except...
What's mud flood? Mud flood is typically used, if I remember correctly, by young Earth creationists to explain the stratification of certain rock layers that, of course, in real life show that the Earth is much older than 6,000 years. So they say, no, there was this global flood, that usually Noah's Ark, that created all these mudslides that made these rock strata and stuff like that.
Mathematics. That seems to be kind of true in a way, if you want to figure out a problem. But they're certainly not when it comes down to the origin of where we come from, because I can still zoom in on a fucking boat that I should not be able to see. So where the mathematical computation doesn't seem to fucking work. You guys. I'm going to continue doing this. I don't care. It doesn't make a difference. I'm in it for the long run, obviously. You know? I'm not going anywhere. I thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos and let me be a part of your life.
So that's CC. Depressing as usual. My throat's very dry. Sorry. Woo! We're doing good. Whew, I'm glad I didn't put eye makeup on today. Well, I did do lashes, I guess. Let's see if that runs. Hydrate. Will do. Prime038, thanks for subscribing with 2 months. Says, 2 months so far. Love your stuff, Hannah. Thank you. Whew. Yeah, baby. I'm okay. Thanks for checking on me. Cassia literally just poked her head in, looked at me, and meowed, and I was like, yeah, and she left. Cute. Hoy Command, thank you for subscribing for 11 months, and hats off to me, meaning I have to change an accessory, or put one on. I think I'm going to switch to my steampunk glasses. How about that? There we go. Not as good of a look, but it's a look. Adia Blue says, food source dead? No? Okay, peace. Your cat's a fatty. I'm sorry. Okay, what are we gonna do next? Ooh, Call for an Uprising has a new video. It's on Pride Month. So this is probably gonna be homophobic. So, you know, content warning for a Call for an Uprising's homophobia. Or transphobia. All of the above, basically. Just letting you know.
Wake up, because this is a Call for an Uprising.
And Lego is starting off Pride Month with a colorful start. The toy maker is releasing its first ever LGBTQ+ themed set called Everyone is Awesome. It contains 346 pieces, including 11 figures, each with an assigned rainbow color. The colors represent the original Pride rainbow flag with pale blue.
Bellum Guardian says, I wonder what Call's take is on the discourse.
White and pink figures to represent the trans community, and black and brown figures to represent the diversity of skin tones within the LGBTQ+ community.
This is a Call for an Uprising. Welcome to today's show. Of course, as you guys know, I'm celebrating Pride Month here. We all are. Pride, of course, very horrible sin, but no, we're celebrating a different kind of pride. And you know what pride that is. And every year around this time, we know that these companies jump on board.
Rainbow capitalism discourse. Let's have rainbow capitalism discourse instead of the discourse that's happening about pride currently on the internet.
People have told me that they've gone to local stores like Target and Walmart, and they actually have a whole section devoted to Pride Month. And
yeah, as it turns out, giant mega corporations have deemed it, gay, lesbian, trans, bi, and other queer people to be valid consumers. So thank you. Booklong, thank you for following. Don't you love it when people commodify your identity? Seriously though, I do like Pride Month, but it is funny, the rainbow capitalism stuff, and I think that's an ugly Lego set. And I like Legos. But anyway.
Pride clothing and merchandise, and I just want to applaud the fact that we've come so far as a country to address these really important issues. So,
yes, gay, lesbian, trans, bi, LGBTQ plus rights, whatever, are important, Call. I know you're a homophobe. That's your business, I guess. But you can't really say that it's not important, because it is for millions and millions and millions of Americans, and even more globally. Kropotkinist, thank you for subscribing for 3 months, says, rainbow capitalism discourse is much more productive than discourse that's been resolved for years by local pride organizers. Agreed. Andrew Batella says, valid consumers only during June. Come July 1st, they don't give a fuck. Zamsada says, I worked for a company that would vend at Pride and Folsom Street events in San Fran, and I learned from patrons that the flags are very specific. They are. Pyromancer says, more minifigs. And Nova 4 says, me, rainbow capitalism bad. Also me, those Converse look amazing. See, that's the thing. It is, and that's a lot of people are just like, rainbow capitalism bad. But I think it's a more nuanced issue than that, because even though it is certainly corporate pandering, since we live in a society where corporate pandering is important to visibility and identity, I prefer rainbow capitalism to exist within our current system than for it not to exist. I'll absolutely make fun of it, but I'm glad there are rainbow t-shirts and stuff everywhere, because it makes society as a whole go, oh yeah, the LGBT community, which is a normal thing, you know? I don't know. Mike Max says, pretty sure that he always correct, and that he the perfect is prideful. Wow, are you having a stroke? Are you okay? That XY girl says, we live in a society. Hannah, 2021. We do live in a society. Mike Max says, pretty sure he thinks he is always correct, and that the perfect Christian is prideful.
I know people won't be shell-shocked when they hear this, but we have another Pride product that came out, and I thought I'd share it with you. It's Pride Legos for the young kids out there.
Why do you... Oh, is this going to be a thing where calls like only 8-year-olds play with Lego? An 8-year-old... See, here's the thing, too. I think if I was 8 years old and I got this, I would think it's a boring Lego set. Not even that I was necessarily a homophobic kid or anything. I'd just be like, well, this is a boring Lego set. Can I get an X-Wing or something? Like, this is more probably for teens and adults. Like, I've bought Lego sets in the past, 5 years or so. There are plenty of adult Lego aficionados out there, which of course Call thinks is hilarious because he doesn't think it's okay for people to have fun. But yeah, this is more like put it on your desk Lego, not so much 8-year-old has fun building it Lego. Pyromancer says, use the figs as Power Ranger stand-ins.
It's really cool, right?
You can get, I think, pretty decent Power Ranger mini figs. There are some companies that make sort of bootleg Power Ranger minifigs that turn out pretty good. Like, here's one. So you can get Power Ranger minifigs. They're just not official, but they're compatible with all the Lego stuff. They fit into the same. You can find bootleg minifigs for just about anything these days. A lot of companies make them.
You guys can get on board. You can see it here now. It says how childhood bullying inspired this Lego VP to design an LGBTQ set. Lego will start selling a rainbow-colored set now on our Pride Month. Right? Kind of interesting way that these figures are lined up. Almost running a train, but...
Anytime people are in a line together, they're running a train. So, like, when I go to the movie theater and I'm waiting in line for my ticket, all I think is, boy, this is just like running a train on all these people who are in front of me. Yeah, sure, that's close enough to Hannah Dies of Laughter.
No surprise there.
Minifig centipede. Oh man, I want a human centipede Lego set. Someone make that.
There. Anyway, you can see these exciting Legos here, and what's funny about it before I get into all of these Pride things that have come out is when I saw this trending, and it was trending on Twitter and people were commenting on it, and all these people who are in the community, the LGB community, were all upset about it. They're like, well, these big companies only come out and jump on our bandwagon for Pride Month. Where are they the rest of the year?
Yeah, that's rainbow capitalism discourse for you. Ashy Boo with 20 bits and a train. Thank you.
I mean, I guess it's still not good enough. So I say, why don't we just have Pride Year? Oh wait, we already do have Pride Year in America. It seems like almost every month. But this is the
Any month that we aren't allowed to openly stone gay people is Pride Month.
LGBTQ toys, it says, that are all the rage. Potato Head family sets feature LGB couples on the box. Barbie wears Love Wins t-shirts.
Boy, it's almost like gay people and trans people and bi people and ace people and everything else. Pan people, all the things. It's almost like we all exist in society, and that gets reflected in toys and media because they're reflections of the real world.
I didn't even know that. Along with her girlfriend. Oh, so apparently they've gotten Barbie as well.
I don't think the implication is that Barbie is gay. Maybe bi. That'd be fine. I never liked Ken anyway, but whatever.
Wearing her Love Wins with her girlfriend. I guess Ken has... I'm waiting for the Ken...
As we all know, Ken, who was very straight all along. Pyromancer says, Love Wins kind of ruined by the cult. Don't let the cult ruin the phrase Love Wins.
I mean, I'm sure it's already out there, but Ken transitioning. Although I guess Ken is technically transitioned, right? Because he's got nothing going on down there. But anyway, now Lego wants...
That's not what that means. Mike Max says, remember, Ken had a cock ring. What? Nick says, as someone who considers himself gray asexual, wears gray. I don't even know what gray asexual means, actually.
In on it, they say the toy brand has unveiled the LGBTQ theme set called Everyone is Awesome. It goes, everyone is awesome, of course, except Christians, right? It goes on sale.
All these dang persecuted Christians. They're only the majority in the country. They're so oppressed.
June 1st, the first.
They can't kill gay people for being gay. Now that's real oppression.
Day of Pride Month, rather than depicting LGBTQ individuals or relationships, the toy creators centered around the 11 colors on the flag. Of course, the hijacked flag of God's promise, which is.
They're so butthurt about the rainbow thing. I love it. But God invented the rainbow and he put it in the sky after the real story of Noah's Ark that definitely really happened. You're not allowed to use the rainbow. Christians own the concept of a rainbow. Cool.
Now,
gray sexual people fluctuate between sexual and asexual. Gotcha. Andrew Patella says, I consider myself gray ace and also have little clue what it means. All I know, I'm not really attracted to anyone IRL, but I like gay porn and have kinks. Dunno. All right, right on.
Theirs, but there's nothing in correlation there. We can't be upset about that at all, right? And and one of the things, if you guys actually do want a little kick out of it, I saw this. If somebody had posted it. It's from a website called the Babylon Bee. I haven't looked too much into it, but it looks like it's a pretty
earring
funny
magic Barbie
website here. But anyway, they said in honor of Pride Month, Lego introduces the Sodom and Gomorrah playset.
Ha ha ha. Isn't it funny how our holy book says that God, and this isn't even really what the story of Sodom and Gomorrah says, by the way. Apparently Call hasn't read it lately. But he's like, isn't it funny that my religion says God wants to murder all gay people? That's hilarious.
And I had to give a shout out and credit to it because I was cracking up. As you can see, ages 1 to 99, 18, 24. Very, very clever. And of course,
real humor is when you laugh about killing everyone you don't like. Definitely not how sociopaths think. Honestly, in fairness, this is, I would buy that set too. I am a Bible aficionado, as you all know. Rainbow relevant.
Okay, now I'm feeling.
Again, this is another, stop sending me clips of copyrighted things. Even if it's like 5 seconds, I'd prefer you not.
We're all just having a good time here, folks. Don't be offended. So maybe, I don't know what stores might pick this up, but not a bad idea for Lego if they're looking to cash in on Pride Month. But back to the story at hand here. The 11 colors of the Pride flag with bricks, and figures in monochromatic colors. It's a symbolic gesture to support the community. According to the Lego VP of Design, the company wanted to create a product celebrating the community. Ashton had previously built a model similar to the Everyone is Awesome set to decorate his desk and thought the design might work well for this project. He says the brand deliberately included black and brown to reflect the struggles of LGBT people of color, along with the pink, white, and blue colors of the trans flag.
That's pretty common. I think there's even a newer version, new Pride flag. I think I've seen a newer version of the Pride flag that's very similar, yeah. I think it's this one. That includes trans and same thing, basically. It's a cool design. I like it. Progress flag, is that what it's called?
Oh, so we have that included as well. We have green people, blue people, everybody. It's got everybody's included on here except, of course, people of Christianity, of course, can't include. I mean, where's Lego's, Do they have, maybe they do. I don't know.
Lego doesn't have any religious sets to my knowledge. Let's see. Christian Lego. There is a Lego Bible, but that's not made for, no. That's not made by Lego. Christian Lego. Etsy. But no, LEGO has not gotten into any sort of, like, religious-related stuff for pretty obvious reasons. If you want, though, look, LEGO-compatible Bible-themed sets. You can buy them here. Cool. Etsy doesn't appear to have any. Oh, no, they do have a Noah's Ark one. Noah's Ark Build-A-Block set. There you go. Do that. Dr. Gamble says, so God decided to kill, destroy his great work instead of accepting his creation as is? This God guy sounds amazing and not like a bratty kid at all.
It says they're facing, Ashton himself faced challenges growing up as an LGBT kid. So, of course, Ashton is the VP of LEGO, an LGBT kid. He must have really been suppressed his whole life, being the VP of LEGO, probably making him...
As we all know, because he's the VP of LEGO today, that means he was the vice president of LEGO when he was 9 years old as well. What?
About $1 million a year. He experienced bullying from other children and adults trying to turn him into a person he was not. He said, I was quite effeminate as a kid and was constantly being told to man up and toughen up. Well, that's, yeah. If somebody tells you to man up or toughen up, it's nothing to do with your sexual preference. It's clearly somebody telling you to toughen up because you're weak or you're having a tough moment. I mean, people tell me to toughen up.
Yeah, that's generally toxic. Usually that's used to try and keep men from experiencing emotions or behaving in any way that isn't considered traditionally masculine, and it's pretty destructive to people most of the time. Killjoy102 with 100 bits says, so because... Ooh, we're on Hype Train. So because there will never be a better time to link this, I'm assuming you've seen it, the Brick Testament, the Bible scenes done in LEGO, all the scenes, even the messed up ones. Oh yeah, I used this for the Bible Reloaded for images back in the day. I'm very aware. It's very interesting. They have an actual book, too, that I want to buy at some point, because it is very cool. Sky Comet Fallen says, I just bought the Mythic Dawn pendant from Etsy that I can use to worship my master, Mehrunes Dagon, Daedric Lord of Destruction. I'm so sad the future Elder Scrolls games aren't going to be on PlayStation. Makes me sad. Mike Mack says, Christians complain that companies use their religion for profit. Christians hate that companies don't have Christian products. Marcus Drake says, don't you know LEGO operates as a hereditary monarchy? Of course. And Astro Jared Fox with 100 bits says, choo choo. Cherry Coke Icy, thanks for the 45 bits. Elder Scrolls is console exclusive. Microsoft bought Bethesda. And moving forward, Xbox has said Bethesda games are only going to release on systems with Xbox Games Pass, which would be the Xbox Series systems and the PC. Color by Emmy says, I always wondered how TBR had so many of those specific LEGO images. And Keirthan says, question, would you describe sex as binary, bimodal, or something else? I would say bimodal.
I would tell people I'm not feeling great and I'm weak. I tell them all the time. I go up, I go down. And people are like, listen, you better toughen up. You got to toughen up, Call. That doesn't mean...
And that definitely worked out for Call for an Uprising, who has no toxic aspects to his personality. He definitely turned out great.
Anything as far as my preference for ladies' private parts. I mean, give me a break. He says, in all honesty, I think those adults were doing that to protect me, but hearing that made me retreat into myself a bit. So literally, I guess he went inside. His goal with this set was to show LEGO support of the community. He said, if I had somebody alongside me that gave me something like this, saying this is a token of how much you mean to me and I'm there for you, something like that would have meant so much to me. Okay. So if somebody provided him with this LEGO set with a rainbow on it when he was a kid, it really would have helped any problems that he was having.
The point he's trying to make, Call, is that something like this would show as an expression of solidarity. It would show, hey, I care about you and it's okay for you to be you no matter what that means. Don't let society try and dictate to you what you should be as a man. Don't think that's hard to understand. 39% of the level 1 hype train with a minute and a half left.
Okay. Will a set such as this help kids who feel marginalized because of their gender or orientation? Probably
he's being
not,
obtuse intentionally.
The article here, which, in all honesty, is true. But Lego says the toy is designed for adults 18 and older. Right. But I mean, first of all, do we really have adults 18 and older playing with Legos?
Yeah, it's actually really, really popular. Hold on. Lego.com. Like, some of Lego's biggest customers are adult people who like Lego. Like, look at, on their front page, they have the 2 Friends sets that they have, which is a sitcom from the 90s, and it costs $150. This is not for kids. This is for people who are fans of Friends and adult fans of Lego. I think they did something similar with Seinfeld, or maybe that was just one of the Lego Ideas sets that they didn't do yet. But yeah, Lego markets things towards adults all the time. Like, they have a whole series of cars that are for adults. I think it's the Technic brand. I'm not sure. Oh, do they have a 1960s Batman one now? That's pretty cool. Oh, look at that. I like that one. Someone buy me this Batmobile. I'm joking. But no, they have a lot of stuff. They got a grand piano that's $350. Like, a kid wouldn't be interested in building this, probably. It's an adult thing. And I'm not telling Call he has to be interested in Lego. But yeah, a lot of adults enjoy this stuff. Here's one that's an NES. Here's one that's a Batman mask. Andrew Batella, thank you for gifting a sub. Aw, we missed the hype train. That's a shame. Nick says, Call, people like you and your dickhole of a father bullied people for their sexuality or their perceived sexuality. Go fly a kite. Oh, this is kind of cool, though, the Batman cowl. They've had some pretty interesting sets lately that are a little outside of the box for them. I appreciate that. But let's not turn this into a Lego shopping stream.
I'm not making fun of, you know, people get all upset if I like
Google search Lego 66 Batcave. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's neat. It definitely has more of a play set vibe. I don't... Like, if I build a Lego, you know, I'm an adult, I'll build Lego and I find it really relaxing and cathartic to build Lego and then put it up on a shelf, and then it stays on that shelf. But as a kid, yeah, totally. The playset aspect, that's cool. Not something I'm interested in. I stay away from the ones that are like playsets, but just the vehicle that I could display, that's cool. Oops.
I'm gonna rail on you, but I mean, in all honesty, it's true. But Lego says the toy is designed for adults 18 and older. Right. But I mean, first of all, do we really have adults 18 and older playing with Legos? I'm not making fun of, you know, people get all upset if I like make fun of these. I've made fun of these dorks who are talking about how they're attracted to Pokemon characters. I mean, it's totally different and
attracted to Pokemon characters. That's actually a reference to a stream Surus and I did where we made fun of Call for an Uprising, and we made a joke about, I think it was like, which Pokemon would you fuck? I don't even remember. Steve with a Q says, Lego shopping stream. I wish.
Totally embarrassing. But, I mean, look, if you're an adult and you have Legos, I'm not going to rail on you, but I mean, is Lego marketing products to 18 plus?
Yes. You're saying it incredulously when you could literally go on their website and see they do that all the time. Toeen24 says Call is definitely a well-adjusted and stable person. Totally doesn't bannovate on YouTube by using a shitty 1950s stereotype of a gay man. And Zamsada says, wait, so he doesn't even know about the people who sleep with an anime character pillow? I guess not.
It's Lego. Like, it's a niche thing. And mainly kids are the ones who play with Legos. So let's be real. But they're doing that to be politically correct so there's no backlash from people like me and you. But we know better. What do you think a parent's going to go and see this and go, oh, says 18 older. Are they going to check at the register of the checkout the child's ID who's there with the mother? Are they going to check the mom?
You understand that the age on Legos is a recommendation and not some sort of legal thing, right? Just checking.
ID and make sure that she signs a consent form that she's not going to give it to someone 18 and older. I mean 18 and
The collector sets displays are always 18 plus. That makes sense.
younger. I mean, give me.
I would honestly think part of the reason it's, and this is going to sound dumb, but I've built a lot of Lego sets. It's probably 18 plus because it's so many bricks of the exact same color because they're just like vertical rainbow strips. And for little kids, that gets very difficult to differentiate the different parts when you have a whole bucket full of them. Because I've built a ton of Lego. You know, when you're sorting all the bricks when you're building it, it gets to be a pain in the ass. Especially in this case, if it's a bunch of little bricks that are like all green or all red or whatever. It's probably more that reason. Toying24 says, Call probably has a sexy white guy Jesus anime body pillow.
Give me a break. This is just a way so they can go, oh, but we don't want to. We're not trying to, market this towards kids or anything like that.
Again, I don't think they are. If they are, it's the most boringest Lego set ever. Again, this is what it looks like. Like, if you want to stick this on your desk or on a shelf or something, that's cool. I get it. I wouldn't because I think it's kind of a boring set. But if you want it, that's awesome. A kid would think this is like the most boringest thing ever. They'd be like, oh, it's faceless people that are like monochromatic and they stand in front of that same color on, A kid wouldn't like this. Mike Mack says, he'd be surprised when adults used Lego for art like Lego statues. And Bellum Guardian says, N-Block on Twitter made a good point. I think she said that Lego lists its more displayed type sets as 18 plus and the types for play sets younger. Yeah, usually.
Think like that. That's your perverted mind thinking that way. Yep.
Wait, you saw people standing in a line earlier and thought it reminded you of someone running a train, but we have perverted minds? Interesting projection.
So they say, they talk about the Potato Head toys and the other brands that have been releasing these products. And it happens every Pride Month. I mean, this even says, the Lego set fits the broader trend of major brands using Pride Month to sell rainbow-colored merchandise to the LGBT community, which has a buying power of $830 billion. Wow. I can't believe it.
Lots of gay couples with double income, no kids. A lot of gay people got that money.
If that's true. Okay. Well, let's just put it this way, though. When is anything ever enough? So all these people who are in the community, and this is their preference, they're all complaining that all these companies are on board. There are
a lot of people who often do. I've even been part of that discourse, and I've talked about it here. It can get frustrating knowing the cynical side from which these companies are coming from, but also it's nice to have LGBT-related products. Does Call think the LGBT community is a monolith in its opinions? Because, boy, discourse on Pride would be a lot simpler if that were the case.
They're taking our month away, and they're trying to make money off of us. It's like, well, okay, and if none of the companies came out and supported you, you would say that nobody...
They make adult Barbie dolls, like this one. Is it gonna load? Oh yeah, those are definitely for adult collectors. Jesus Christ. Look at these things. How do I even want to know how much these are? I bet it's ridiculous. Not available for sale. It's just talking about it. I wonder how much this was. But yeah, I actually think I watched a documentary a while back on adult Barbie collectors that was pretty interesting. I imagine they're very, very expensive.
Nobody supports you, and nobody cares, and you're suppressed, right? I mean, which one is it? Which would you like? I mean, I'd like the latter of the two. Because personally, I don't care what anyone's doing behind closed doors. My problem is that I don't want it shoved in my eyes, in my face. I don't want to be
The existence of this Lego set that I wouldn't have known about unless I constantly search out information on gay people annoys me because it exists. Me seeking out this information and making a 13-minute video about it is shoving it in my face.
Hearing about it, I don't want kids being told about it, because influence is a real thing. And, you know.
Nick says, then call out straight couples for existing, you homophobic redacted.
Whatever, I can't go into a rant on that because, you know, that's just another strike because it's so mean and hurtful.
We need a "it's capitalism, bro" emote. I know.
But that's how I feel, you know, if anyone cares how I feel.
We don't.
And I think most people who follow this channel feel the same way. We don't want to be force-fed this.
All the Legos must be straight, damn it.
We see it constantly. We don't see Christian parades.
Christmas, anyone? After all, Call, isn't he the reason for the season? Samsada says, Google how Barbie would walk if she was real. I'm good. Let's even just type, yeah. Christian parade. So there's... oh my god! Christian Christmas float ideas. Parade float ideas. There's a Jesus float of some kind. There's a Jesus thing.
We don't see...
And by the way, Call, if you want to hold a parade, go set up a parade. Like, you understand you can do that, right? You gotta go get permits from the city. If you wanted to have, like, a Christian pride parade, you could go do that. Just go set it up.
And they go, well, that's because everybody is. And you know, that's a stupid thing to say. Oh, okay, well, it seems like everyone else is getting marginalized. But anyway, which is a community? Do you only want, like, small companies supporting you? I mean, you want no one supporting you now because it's trendy? Maybe that's...
I'd like to live in a society where my worth isn't determined by my ability to consume products. That'd be what I would like.
Maybe they're getting mad because it is trendy. You know why it's trendy? Because follow this channel. I've been saying it for years. They've made it trendy. They've made it the way it is because they've placed things in certain positions to make that happen, to make people have that preference.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro said something against MTG or something. Marjorie says, vaccinated employees get a vaccination logo just like the Nazis forced Jewish people to wear a gold star. Ben says, this is demented nonsense. It's nothing like the Holocaust, and a comparison there too is both insulting and insane. Yeah.
So, can't win. You can't lose, right? But, you can lose. You can't win, apparently, in the community. Nothing's just ever enough. Maybe we all just need to pucker up, I guess. I don't know. But I want to remind everyone again, check out the website at callfornuprising.com. $2.99 a month. It's well worth it. I appreciate the support if you guys join the website.
Towing24 says, I'd totally dress up as Jar of Mayo for Call's Christian White Nationalist Parade. I gotta sign up to Call's website so I can see what hot garbage he puts on there. It's gotta be a nightmare.
I really could use it. I appreciate the support of people here sticking around on YouTube. Obviously, you could see the numbers and how they've diminished. That's the only thing that upsets me. I don't care if I have 500,000 subs or 5,000. Well, I guess I care a little bit, but I lose a lot of my subs. I lose a lot.
I care. Subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/HannahReloaded.
A lot of listeners, and then when they shadow ban, you can't get new listeners and help new people. So it gets frustrating, but I'm trying as hard as I can. Some days I'm up, some days I'm down. Most days I'm in between. I go on like a roller coaster of emotions a lot with this stuff. I'm trying to balance myself more with God's word than all this negative stuff. because, I mean, that's what my soul needs, really. You know, when I was younger, this was a little bit easier to deal with on a day-to-day basis, but a lot has changed in the last 5 to 6 years, where I was warning about this stuff because it was being hinted at. Now it's completely in our faces. Everything is normalized. And I'm not just talking about what this video is about. I'm talking about, you know, the jab and all this stuff. So anyway, I appreciate the support of you guys. If you are a listener here on YouTube, please consider becoming a Patreon. That helps go a long way. And of course, check out the Teespring store if you haven't. There's going to be new stuff up there that's going to be pretty funny. So that's just a good way to viral market and get the word out about the channel. So I appreciate the support of all you guys. I hope you're doing well. God bless you and your families.
By the way, one of Call's other channels got banned recently. I don't think we've covered that. Nor do I really need to outside of talking about it here. But one of his channels bit the dust. So, progress. Every single channel gets a little fewer subscribers than the next one. So, it's good stuff. Anything else on bingo? We got Flat Earth. We got the gay agenda. We got chemtrails. I think we did the Hanadize of Laughter. And I'm out of bingo tokens. But someone won bingo anyway, so. Trying to see what I want to do next. Let's see what Nathan Thompson is up to. He's still on his Flat Earth World Tour. So let's see what he's up to. Probably being a dick to people in public, as he usually is.
No, they can't. The CDC says there's exemptions, medical exemptions, religious exemptions. They're doing extra. They're doing extra. You're not my boss, okay? You're not my boss, okay? Oh, okay. All right, let me see your badge. Name and badge number, please. Name and badge number, please. Name and badge number, please. No. Could I please just get some gas?
Oh my god, of course he can't even stay behind the plexiglass. He has to look around and talk in her face. What a dick.
No, I'm just trying to get some gas before I run out. Go ahead and call the cops, bro. I'm just trying to make sure I don't run out of gas with a dog in the car, dude.
Okay, then put on a mask.
I already offered to cover I've got it all recorded. These.
Is he the one that robbed his friends? Yes, allegedly.
That's what the Nazis said. We're just doing our job. That's what the Nazis said. That's what the Nazis said. We're just doing our job. But that's what the Nazis said. You realize that? The Nazis said that.
Anytime anyone is just doing a job, it's like they're a Nazi. That's exactly what that means. Yep.
That's what the Nazis said. We're just doing our job.
You're just slapping stationary. Yeah.
I like that Nathan sees this and he's like, yeah, I'm nailing it. I am absolutely nailing it. These are the people that agree with me. Hooray! Isn't Nathan a fan of the Nazis? He's an anti-Semite who thinks that the they and them, he thinks it's... Pyromancer says, Nazis probably also said good morning to people. Better stop doing that.
Everything is shut down. Don't make sense, but I trust this plan. Yeah. I fear no COVID-19, I fear the...
And the Clown World Tour with Nathan Thompson, man. Do you understand?
I missed bits. I'm sorry. Nick says, bro. Firemancer says, nope. Thrash Mio says, where's all the equal outrage for homeless people and skaters getting kicked out of parking lots of these businesses? Oh, he doesn't care. Because it's about him.
So I have to wear it for a few seconds, but you have to wear it all day. So you're recycling your own oxygen, you're collecting pathogens on them.
That's not how it works.
Mask.
You're not telling me anything I don't already know.
So I'm standing up for your rights, bro.
I know that.
So just take 50 bucks.
I'll get fired.
You'll get fired. We'll get a new job, bro. Who cares? All right, there's plenty of jobs out there.
So if you can't, no mask, no gas. That's all there is.
Bro, I've already been in here for like 2 minutes talking.
Nathan's unemployed, and he tells other people, just get a new job, bro. Don't worry about it. Break the rules for me.
You could have just exchanged the bill and gotten me gas. You're kidding, right? You're kidding, right? I just need gas, but I'm running out of gas. My car's empty.
Yeah, I can't give you gas. I will lose my job.
Nathan, you could also just, like, get a debit card and pay at the pump like a normal person.
Maybe this lady can serve me.
Really? You think you're gonna walk
I'm out
next?
of gas. Can I get some gas? Yeah, okay. How about if I just go like this? Are you guys safe now? It's cloth. It's covering my nose and mouth, guys. It's cloth. It's covering my nose and mouth. Can I?
Fun fact, people don't want to deal with you or if you're a complete dick. Pyromancer says, but then the deep state can track him. See, here's the funny thing. If he had actually come in like that initially, they might have been like, that's weird and not really a mask, I guess, but fine. But now that you've been a dick to them, they have absolutely no reason to want to put up with your bullshit.
Can I please get gas now? I just put on a mask. I just put on a mask, bro. Look, I'm covering my foot.
The Under 92 says people like Nathan do everything in their power to not just wear a thin piece of cloth over their face for literally 1 minute. Yeah, they're babies.
I'm covering my face, bro.
There's a gas station down the road.
I'm covering my face. But I'm covering my face, guys. I'm running out of gas. You guys, I'm running out of gas.
Is
my
your
car's
car
out
currently running? Oh yeah, he has a dog in it. I guess you should probably put a mask on then, dipshit.
I got a dog in the car. It's 80 degrees outside. I'm covering my face, bro. I'm covering my face. So, I'm covering my face. Isn't that what everyone else is doing? Covering your face? Covering your face? Are you guys happy now? Can I get gas? This is ridiculous. Do you guys think this is even funny, dude? Is that you can't get gas unless you put a diaper on your face? I've already been in here for 5 minutes. And he's like, no, that's safer. It's safer to have you here for 5 minutes asking to fill up a tank.
We help you, so all these people are going to take their mask off because I...
Good, they should. It's not healthy. It's not healthy to be wearing a mask. It's not healthy to cover your face all day.
Tell that to every surgeons who do like 6 to 8 hour operations must fucking hate these people. I can't wear a mask for 5 minutes to come by gas because it's gonna do blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. Shut up.
It's not healthy to recycle your own oxygen. It's not healthy to collect pathogens right in front of your mouth and nose mucosa.
But it's their establishment. I mean, rules suck, but...
That's what the or Mercury, because you would be facing this direction.
Oh god, he's at the LA Observatory, I think.
We're just so
Pyromancer says, hey Nathan is called taking a principled stance. Maybe take a hint. Again, guys, read your messages before you send them. Nathan is called taking a principled stance. Maybe take a hint. I don't know what that means.
We'd never be able to see those.
It's called taking a principled stance. There we go. Thank you.
To mention, this side of Mercury would be dark. You'd be looking at the sun, so in order to see Mercury at night, Mercury would have to be over here, which is like 120 million miles away. The diameter of Mercury is only 3,000 miles, which would make the angular size of Mercury 0.00.
Diameter of Mercury, 3,031 miles.
2, which is way too small for the human eye to see. I've been studying this for 5 years. I used to run the largest research group in the world, bro.
He really doesn't like to point out that when he says that, he means he had a big Facebook group that got banned for anti-Semitism. I had a large Facebook page that posted anti-Semitic memes and anti-masker memes, so it got banned. Towing24 says he's probably not using a card or a pay app because they probably tied to PayPal or Cash App where the money he allegedly stole is. Maybe.
So all these solstices, the lunar and solar solstice that
Foreign Wolf, thank you. Yep, said by not a researcher on the bingo card. I'm out of bingo things though, but yes.
Kimbo, nice to meet you, dude.
How you doing, man?
Pleasure to meet you.
I like Kim.
Kim? Kim and Kimbo, that's easy. That's easy, really good. I knew this was the group because no one over here is covering their face. That's hilarious, dude. Yeah. You're not here. Are you real?
I'm curious in like 6 more months when everyone is going around more or less without a face covering, maybe unless they're sick or it's, you know, flu season or something. Some people may continue to do that, including myself, maybe during flu season. Anyway, I do wonder, how are they going to feel superior to other people once that's no longer a factor? Like, what are they going to do? They'll still be idiots.
Oh, you pinch me. Oh, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you. Great to see you.
Everyone's here. This is awesome.
Everything is shut down. Look it up now. I advise you not to look.
That's right. Again, like I said. Hey, buddy.
Again, dude. Good to see you, bro. Nathan.
I'm Kenny.
Kenny, pleasure to meet you, dude.
You look
Yeah.
familiar, man.
Yeah, I do speeches and activism, yeah.
Everything is shut down. Look it up now.
Our sons are out passing out flat Earth flyers
Oh,
for
right
$100.
on.
Yeah.
For what?
For $100.
You're giving them $100 bucks?
Gave them each $100 cash and said, "You can keep this."
Yeah, that's Lucas. That's my little brother.
Did they mean their own kids or random kids? Because if it was random kids, they took that $100 and they threw all those pamphlets in the garbage. If it's your own kids, those poor children.
Yeah.
Honestly, even if they are your own kids, they probably threw them in the trash.
Yeah. Oh, nice shirt, bro. Nathan. Eric, nice to meet you, dude. That was a cool one. I've never seen that one before.
Never tried it.
Oh, it's not easy, huh? Try balancing first. That's the way to do it, is
He's
balancing.
so
There
obsessed with the bouncing the balls on the hammers.
we go, there we go, there we go. There,
He thinks this turned him into a genius.
there we go.
Because his brain coach told him to do it. Vote for Zora, thank you for following. Towing24 says, "Hey FBI, here's a list of names and faces for the next Trump insurrections when they happen."
Me?
There we go. Well done.
Fucking punch bowl full of fucking clown noses.
I don't
Finish
want
your
that.
fucking tour and do something right for us. Do
What?
something right.
I don't want that.
Yeah, you're the clown guy.
Okay, in your opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Wow, even one of the other flat earthers doesn't like Nathan. Fun.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's a fact.
He has kind of estranged himself from certain parts of the community due to the theft, alleged theft, and falling for that prank that the Reckless Ben people did, so... I don't know if most flat earthers hate him, but those in the community definitely have soured to his bullshit. They think he makes them look bad. I mean, they do look bad anyway. And he certainly does make them look bad, but they'd be ridiculous even without him, but they definitely don't like him.
Oh, nice. You found it. Good. There's a knife and a cutting board.
What a trigger Gabba. Your girlfriend or your mom. I don't care. I don't care. Okay? Go be upset in the corner. I don't care. No one here cares either, Dan. Yeah, you're being a baby. Yeah, you are.
Everything is shut down. Look it up now. I advise you not to look down.
I don't know if I met you yet, brother.
Some chips.
What's his name?
Andreas.
Andreas, pleasure to meet you. Oh, wait, hold on, Gio. We gotta go back this way. This way, this way, this way. Gio. Let's go, bud. Hey! This way. This way. This way.
His poor pup. TubeMan642 says, if I had the funds, I would launch every single flat earther into space for a month, and whoever still thinks it's flat will stay there. Right Set Rob. Good name. Thanks for gifting us up.
Shh. Gio, be quiet.
He's using spy glasses, basically. They just look like normal glasses, and they have a camera right here and like an SD card that saves it. Nick with 50 bits becomes the stream boss.
Let's go, bud. Hold on. Hold on, this way across the bridge.
Puka, thanks for the 100 bits.
Easy. Hey.
And Cupcake Chaos, thanks for 55. That's it, it's just him talking to the dog. Great. So Nathan's doing the same stuff. Just kind of a big baby. Let's look at Leak Project. He had some good stuff last week. This video is solar storms are back, threatening power grids and satellites. Get ready.
Solar storms are back, threatening power grids and satellites. Read all about it. Bloomberg, AP, from Brian K. Sullivan. Hi, I'm Rex Bear. How the heck are you? Let me give you a quick update. A few days ago, millions of tons...
M. the Ambassador says, I wonder if Nathan was a failed vlogger, so he decided to grift the flat earth. No, Nathan is a true believer. He's certainly a bit of a grifter, but, like, he believes it. He's just, you know... I think he's definitely in it wanting to make money, but he believes it.
Tons of super heated gas shot off from the surface of the sun and hurled 90 million miles towards Earth. The eruption, HALO, called a coronal mass ejection, wasn't particularly powerful on the space weather scale, but when it hit the Earth's magnetic field, it triggered the strongest geomagnetic storm seen for years. Yes, this thing is so cool. Literally. Go to easysummercool.com. You're going to get 50%
This is
off.
the opposite of a smooth transition into an ad. Wow.
Off as a Leak Project listener. Free shipping in the U.S. 30day.com. Get the 50% discount. Get the free shipping. Wake did. And you have nothing to lose. You got a 30-day money-back guarantee. HALO! The sun is waking up. And let's take a look at it, shall we? I'd like to take you directly to the homepage, swpc.noaa.gov. As you can see right here, we're going to look at the coronal mass ejection that took place on the 24th. It's in the center screen. You watch it there. Shoot out. Boom. I wonder if that's silent, but deadly. Oh, yeah. Probably not. I'm sure there's...
Did he just make a sun fart joke?
Plenty of noise coming out of the sun. But you'll notice to the right of that, we see the...
It's space. It's not making noise.
The planetary index here. And it's been hanging out very low, between 0 and 1. So when that happens, we have a weakened magnetosphere, more cosmic rays.
No, I think this is a different
Earth,
guy from the Rock Cities guy. This guy did the story about the clone, the Russian clone soldiers. Ugh. Alright, I'm not feeling him today. Seems like a boring video. How was the vegan cheesy bread, Baha? Was it good? Pyromancer says footage of what space sounds like. sausage cleanse? Maybe. I'm kind of tired. Maybe I'll call it a night after a cleanse. Country fried steak sausage. We can probably do that. It was good, too cheesy. Tastes too much like real cheesy bread. Oh, that sounds great to me. Alright, let's do this cleanse and then we'll call it an evening. We've been going for over 3 hours. That's probably good.
Well, hey there, folks, and welcome back. I guess. Okay, so we got country fried steak today. Or if you're a weirdo, chicken fried steak. The last time I had chicken fried anything was when I took my mom to the KFC buffet on Mother's Day. My God, the way it came out, you would think we were up all night eating soup. You know, frying things at home is such a monumental pain in the ass. You think it's gonna be fun, but it never turns out. But it's always just so much work. Like we're still setting all this up. I still gotta clean it all up once we're done.
I agree. I have a little fryer that I haven't used in like 2 years, just because it's a pain in the ass. I bought a fryer that I actually really liked. This little fryer. It's only like this big. I don't know. It's big enough for like single servings of like mozzarella sticks or pizza rolls or whatever you're gonna fry. But the actual fry part doesn't come out to be cleaned, so you just have to like very carefully clean it without exposing any of the electrical stuff to the water. It's a pain in the ass. I do like fryers though. You ever had a fried Hot Pocket? Pyromancer says air fryer was a nice investment. Yeah, I might look into one at some point.
We gotta first dredge it. Then you gotta dunk it.
Nick says Hannah mentions Hot Pocket or cheese. True.
And then you gotta dredge it again. It's never ending with the dredging. Flour is just the worst thing in the world to clean up. It just gets everywhere like glitter. All right, this is a frightening amount of oil. I'm just you know, here we go on this. I mean, Jesus, look at all this oil I gotta deal with. All right, we're gonna get rid of this. The joys of cooking at home. Well, that only took like an hour. Let's see how we did here. Certainly tastes like fried steak to me. Yep.
It hurts me watching him grind this up now. I've never actually had chicken fried steak, so I don't even know how it tastes.
Long and winding sausage. In 3, 2, 1, let's sausage. You know what? We gotta tie this off first. What the heck am I thinking? Let's try that again. And there we go. There we have it. Will it blow? Well, that was a pretty tame will it blow. I'm gonna give that will it blow 1 Mark Ruffalo's. Here we go. Another intact sausage is gonna make it. No more bursts. Well, I suppose we ought to see how we did. Not bad. It looks like a sausage. All right, it's time to go over the tasting table and taste this sausage. All right, now we're back, and so we're gonna be tasting this tasty sausage right here. But first, we got where the heck? I forgot to get the fan mail. By the way, don't open the box like how I just did that. Oh, I can't see. I'm like Velma. I can't see anything with the glasses on. Oh gosh. Okay, so hold on. I see what it is. Let me read the letter first. I think this person just forced my hand into a new episode. The letters are always so long. Oh, it's like 5 paragraphs. So what I'm about to show you is from Thomas Cole, who is a Latin geek. He likes the language of Latin, and so he's translated "let sausage." It's pronounced "faciamus tomaculum." He sent me an antique grinder. There it is, made in 1897. During the post episode, I'll put it together and show you guys how it works. Well, all right, let's try the dang sausage here. We're like 3
No, this is not creationist cat guy. That's Vadim.
hours into this. Any way you slice it, this is a great sausage. You know, it holds together as a sausage should, and the taste is incredible. It tastes just as flavorful as it did when it was in its original form. My only complaint is that we should have done at least 1 regrind on it. But I'm not gonna dock it that badly. So I'm gonna have to give this sausage here a 4.5 out of 5.
Bop 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 bop.
Have I ever seen creationist cat and this guy at the same room just saying, no, but I have talked to Vadim. I know Vadim. We've done projects together, so... Gonna say that's not Vadim, because I know what Vadim looks like. Alright. Let's see who we can raid, and then I gotta go remove my makeup and go and exercise, because I'm a busy bish. Left Flank Vats raided me the other day. Although, I could also do Blizzbear. I don't want to do Vosh or Riley because of the discourse. Unless you guys want me to raid for the discourse.
That's not true. I'm pretty disappointed in a lot of you.
You know what? Let's do Shark.
Speaking of that,
3 ounce 0.
All right. I think we had what we needed to out of that. Like I said.
Yeah, Lumi did the other day.
100%.
Okay, this is the final
It
choice,
will happen,
Lumi, because Lumi raided me the other day.
They need a change. And I don't care, like, you can make a million excuses why they're not changing. It doesn't matter. Like, sometimes you want to wait it out, but if you wait it out once and the situation changes or there's a
I
reason
just saw your
the
thing,
situation
Jezebel.
can't change.
Let me know next time who you want me to raid, and we'll do it. I'm sorry. So thanks, everyone. Have a good night. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow for another stream. Stay cool. Is that a thing people say? I don't know. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.
That's rough. So